Hello everyone, and welcome to the Eternal Challenger League Season 2, Qualifier number 3. Today we got some serious competition, and we also do have a returning champion. So let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets for today. So first match is going to be Falcon facing off against Von Karstein, who of course is from the VM clan. And then it's going to be Slade X facing off against Reginald Puggington. And of course the winners of these two early matches will be facing off in the grand finals, which is going to be quite a bit of fun. So for anyone who's catching up, maybe missed some of the previous Eternal Challenger Leagues, let's go ahead and take a look at the tablet of Tehenwin and see who's qualified so far. So here we do have Zyphos and Elhal Cohen, both of which have qualified in the first and second week. So they're going to be going on to the grand final, and of course the winner of today's Eternal Challenger League qualifier will be added to the tablet of Tehenwin, and we'll be seeing them in the grand finals, which will be very much like the Ever-Chosen Invitational. So I actually have some stuff going on this weekend, so I just decided to shift the schedule. And I still wanted to get you guys an Eternal Challenger League, but I also, have some other stuff I really have to take care of. So yeah, guys, we're here. It's going to be fun. Brackets again. It's going to be Falcon versus Von Karstein in Game 1, Slade X versus Reginald Puggington in the second match of the day. So let's go ahead and take a look at the battle here and get ready to go. It's going to be Falcon here in Game 1 playing his Lizardmen, which that's very, very scary, I can assure you. And he's going to be facing off against Von Karstein's Chaos, it looks like. Yes, very, very fun stuff. So we'll let the players know that they can start whenever they're ready, start when ready. And the first map is going to be on the Altdorf outskirts. Oh yeah, it's time. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, I have been having a lot of fun playing Warcraft 3. It's my childhood game. That's like probably the game I sank the most hours into as a kid, especially multiplayer. So yeah, there will be more of that, don't worry. But now we're here with the Eternal Challenger League. Altdorf Outskirts going to be the first map, one of the safer multiplayer maps. It has a very nice combination of, line of sight blocking. It has good Vanguard options with forests to hide in. It also has some good open field play and, nice little hills and terrain. I feel like it's going to be good. So yes, Falcon's playing in the first game here. Say Apple 3 times. Why do you want me to say that? Let me know why first. I don't know if it's some sort of a trick. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of the screen blocker to make sure that you guys can actually see the game. And it's showtime. So Falcon, of course, going to be playing his Lizardmen, which I would say is probably his main race. He's very, very solid at the dinos. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been run over by his Bronus Time Warp Horned One combination. It's always a fun time getting stomped by that. And yeah, he's going to be facing off against Von Karstein, who, of course, was in the Clan Wars a couple weeks ago. I believe both of these players are from Russia. So it's going to be a local battle. Maybe there won't be too many connection issues between the two of them, although I'm not really sure if it connects with the host or if it connects with the players. Something I'd have to look into. But yeah, guys, we also have some good news. Lady Turin and I finally got the whole green card process all approved and everything, so we're all done dealing with the government. So life is good over here. Everything's going well. We just got the update yesterday that we were all approved, and we're all set. No more paperwork, no more fees. Fun times for all. Fun times for all. And I just want to thank you guys for joining. I know there's a lot of great streams going on right now. There's a ton of Three Kingdoms, but you know what? I figured we had to give Total War Warhammer, a fighting chance in the stream competition. So we're here with the Eternal Challenger League, and yeah, it's go time. It's go time. No, Clockbasher, you're not late. This is actually the first match of the day, and the players are going to be loading in right now. And from there, we're going to just have a best of 3. And yes, just a bit of a I guess, re-summary of the format. So the Eternal Challenger League, the qualifiers are all 4-man tournaments. Each round is going to be 2 best of 3s initially, and then the finals are a best of 5. So the individual who wins the best of 5 finals then qualifies for the grand finals at the end of the season. So I think it's a pretty fun format. Perhaps after the season's over, maybe I'll do some sort of a video to collect feedback from you guys, like, hey, what do you like about the format? What do you think could be changed, etc., etc. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate it. Life is good. All is well in the realm. My hand's been feeling a little bit better as well. I started doing a new physical therapy program with an occupational therapist, which is a little bit different than like a physical therapist, who they specialized in the hand. So I just started that a couple days ago, so I got some exercises. Hopefully, in the next couple months, I'll be able to, stream every day and do all kinds of fun stuff. I don't know. We'll see. D Diddy Do. Happy for you. Nothing more tedious than waiting through all the bureaucracy. Oh man, it was an intimidating process for sure. I mean, we had to go to the main office in downtown Los Angeles, and we got interviewed basically, and they just ask you all these personal questions about your life and your marriage, and but the guy we had was really, really nice. Like he was an awesome guy. Like we couldn't have asked for someone better. And he also had some like Game of Thrones stuff in the corner of his room. He had like all these like little statues and stuff. So we're like, all right, I feel like if we just kind of explain that we're into that sort of stuff, it's going to be a very fluid interview. Tomas? Toma? Oh, okay. Got it, Toma. A rubber duck of war? What's up, man? Team Falcon? Wow, we got hashtags in here and everything. So, as far as the army, Falcon going to be going with the double Feral Carnosaur, it looks like. No, actually, one of them is going to be the Saurus Scar veteran, who, of course, is a little bit stronger than the standard Feral Carnosaur here. I think he is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats. I mean, leadership-wise, he does have 75 against the 75 of the Feral Carno, but I guess this guy doesn't rampage is kind of the whole thing. So it's going to be a Feral Carnosaur, as well as the Saurus Scar veteran, and the Banana Salon, which is the Falcon signature. And the Banana Salon is just so cost-effective. Giving the Barona's Time Warp to your front line, to the big dinos who are fighting, that melee attack plus speed buff is just so good and tasty. On top of that, he's going to be dropping Pause Protection, but aside from that, no other magic. So the front line is going to be a combination of Temple Guard, the cohort of Sotek. He does also have a Salamander hunting pack. And now remember, guys, this is on the new patch. So the Amethyst Wizard is in the game. The Ancient Salamander's been heavily nerfed. Skaven have had a ton of nerfs. Vampire Coast has had more nerfs. Vampires in general. Invocation of Nehek has been nerfed. So this is on the Amethyst update. So there's been a ton of changes. So Salamander hunting pack here in the front line. And it looks like he does have two skin cohorts with Javelins and the Powhawks of Sentinels up in the sky. So very, very kind of defensive build. Not going to be trying to get battlefield control. Just going to be going in, grinding it out, and using the hunting packs to kind of poke his opponent. And for the forces of Von Karstein, representing Clan VM, he has Marauder Horsemasters here in the front, which are a solid pick. Pretty good against Pterodon Riders, and Volume and Fire against like Feral Carnosaurs and things. They can do some pretty good damage. Now, this has got to be one of the first times in a long time I've actually seen Forsaken. So Forsaken going to be used here on the flanks. And yeah, I feel like Forsaken are one of those really neglected infantry units that could use a buff. So he does have those bad boys. He does have a couple Marauders here in the front line. Aspiring Champions, Mirror Guard in the back, chosen with Halberds. So I have a feeling that Falcon's really going to be using Banishment and his heavy hitting spells on those bad boys. Over here in the forest, we do have a Shaggoth with some Poison Hounds, Forsaken, and some more Marauders. So the real meat of this army is going to be in the a couple Forsaken groups, a Shaggoth, and I believe he has Archeon, the Ever Chosen. So, Von Karstein trying to win over some fans already. Coming in with the Steel Chair, Archeon probably going to be dropping some big Vortexes here with Flamestorm, and I believe he has Fireball as well. Pretty cool stuff. Start when ready. Banana Salon going to prevent another Chaos Hordes yet again. I like how he just... Falcon's so confident here. He tells his opponent what he's bringing before the match. He's like, the Banana Salon is going to prevent... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter too much because now the army's already picked and everything, so... Yeah. Yeah, TMI, I'm not going to rush it. Don't you worry. I'm going to take my time with this this therapy, as they say. But I still have to work every day, so... unfortunately, I can't take a true break. I mean, I love working. Like, YouTube is my favorite thing. I love just being able to do this for a living. It is a dream come true. So here, you can see the dinos are going to be surging forward towards the Warriors of Chaos, and they shall be meeting most likely in the middle somewhere. These Marauders are going to get crumped pretty bad by the dino infantry. Granted, skin cohorts will have a little bit of trouble against these troops, and Forsaken can really collapse flanks really bad, so if you are relying on skinks to defend for parts of your formation, you have to be careful, because the Forsaken can really chew those guys up very quickly. So Von Karstein going to be coming in with some skirmishing, getting a little bit of light poking here on the Powhawks of Sentinels, but Ancient Salamanders or the regular Salamander hunting packs are able to Shrek those guys pretty good, killing 4 models and driving them back. Very, very good splash damage there. So one of the first times we've seen these standard hunting packs used in, at least I think, the Eternal Challenger League. Most people go with the Ancient Salamander, but the hunting pack can be pretty good. Just a little bit squishy. You have to defend these Sallies or else they're going to be having a pretty bad time. So they're going to be climbing up the hill here. Archeon, the Ever Chosen, going to be perusing, looking for opportunities to get in there. You got better be careful, Archeon. Those Salamanders will roast you, man. So they do have anti-large. That's the difference between them and the Ancient Salamander. The Ancient Salamander is a little bit better against blobs of infantry and multi-unit entities, whereas the Salamander hunting pack is more of like an anti-large specialist. So right here, the cohorts are going to be dropping some javelins into the Marauder Horsemen. You can see those guys are going to be taking some serious damage, and those hunting packs are just so efficient right now. And Falcon, my favorite thing about his build is he didn't go super heavy in range tools, so he's not going to have to worry about protecting too much. He's really just going to have to protect that hunting pack, and that's really not that big of a deal. So the skin cohort's actually engaged there, but it looks like they do fall back, and the Marauder Horsemen are just being shreked so hard. Those guys are just being straight up dumpstered by those Salamanders. Definitely not a fun time for them, and they are going to be getting forced back. So Von Karstein going to be surging forward here. The Chaos Warriors getting impatient watching their fellow buddies be roasted by the Salamanders. And Archeon, the Ever Chosen, also going to be jumping in here, and it looks like some of the Sallies are actually surging forth to help out melee a little bit, but then they pull back, so that's probably the right choice. So, Archeon and company are putting a bit of a dent in these guys, and it looks like the Forsaken on the flank are going to be going after the skink cohorts. So very good play here by Falcon. He's actually pulling back the skinks and just kiting these guys out, blasting them with Salamanders, and now the big-ass angry dinosaurs are going to be piling in. Now, on the other side, I believe we do have a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth who's come in, and a nice Flamestorm cast from Von Karstein does hit the Temple Guard right here, and it looks like it might be getting into the back of these Temple Guard, but it doesn't seem like Lore of Fire spells have the best AP in general. But that's actually not bad value. That did some okay damage. So far the bounce power is relatively even. Falcon's certainly in good shape. A very good play here by Von Karstein. He is able to get the hounds onto the hunting pack, but it looks like there's a couple skinks and Saurus nearby that could fend those guys off, so it's not going to be a huge deal. Now here we do have the Saurus Scar veteran, as well as these Saurus Warriors with the Barona's Time Warp. Look at this beautiful Lizardman play, just keeping it high and tight, getting the Time Warp, getting the Phos Protection, Shield of the Old Ones, Aura of Pretzel. So this entire Lizardman force is just such a raid boss right now. With that, you can see Falcon does actually pull ahead a little bit in the bounce of power, and Archeon's trying to go after the banana salon. But guys, even though he does sit on a toilet seat and kind of floats on his mobility scooter, he is no joke. This guy is so damn hard to catch. So right here you can see the Sora Scarvet, and the other guys are just going to be piling on Archeon, just starting to teabag him. And the dinosaur force, I mean, just taking Chaos apart, I feel like it's so hard to fight the dinosaurs in a really kind of Helm's Deepy type of fight. You really have to pull them apart, and sometimes I think that's why a Hell Cannon is a very good pick against dinos. It can really just blast the Temple Guard and force them out of position. So right here you can see the Salamander Hunting Pack is going to be shooting in. The Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is just getting taken to Pound Town by Falcon's dinosaurs. The Sora Scar Veteran and the other Feral Carnosaur are just going to be just giving him the business. He does have the Cascading Fire Cloak, which is going to help him with his melee defense a little bit, but that's not going to matter. There's so many angry dinosaurs here. Boss protection is going down as well, and it looks like it was overcasted. I mean, what's really scary about a Lizardman force like this is just the overlaying buffs. So you're just overlaying Boss protection, the Aura of Pretzel, Shield of the Old Ones, Barona's Time Warp. You're just getting so much value. It looks like there's going to be some sort of a vortex here from Archeon. We'll see which way it goes, and it looks like it is going to be going the wrong way. Now, I do like Von Karstein's Vortex play this game. I think it's pretty cool to see that, and unfortunately it didn't pay off too much, but yeah, I think it's kind of in the right direction. You're dealing with a Death Star. Archeon's going to be trying to come down here to shut down the Salamander Hunting Packs, but Chaos just does not have enough left. I mean, Forsaken just aren't, they're just such a weird unit. Forsaken, they rarely pay for themselves. Right here, the last of the cohort of Sotex is going to be getting clubbed by these Forsaken, but, you know, they held proudly. And Chaos looks like they're going to be getting slapped with army losses here in Game 1. And Falcon, the champion of the Eternal Challenger League last season, is going to be winning this game. Yeah. Season 2. He was the Season 1 champion, and he's able to take Game 1 here, but it is a best of 3, so there's going to be another game, of course. That is a nasty, nasty build. His Lizardmen are quite legendary. So let's go ahead and put the screen blocker up, move back to the lobby, and we'll say change maps, pick army, change maps, pick armies, and start when ready. All right, guys. So that's Game 1. They're going to be jumping into their second match between these two fine gentlemen. A good show of sportsmanship between the two, saying GG, dropping all those nice lines right there. Yeah, the hunting packs did really good. Yeah, they didn't get nerfed. It was the Ancient Salamander that got nerfed heavily. Ancient Salamander had lost 2,000 HP. He lost damage. He lost a lot of stuff. Oh yeah. Kiting makes Grimgore angry. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did. 136 kills on those guys, huh? That was a quick and deadly fight, but honestly, Chaos versus Lizardman is usually going to be quick one way or the other. So Von Karstein, I believe, is a Vampire Counts main, so he's going to be coming out with Vampire Counts. Now remember, they just got nerfed. Vampire Counts had Invocation of Nehek heavily nerfed, so it only hits 4 targets, it costs more. So, I mean, but I still think that the Vampire Counts have a decent matchup against Norska, but Norska has Familiar Warriors with great weapons, and they can go with Champions and Berserkers, which are very good at cutting through chaff in that long, prolonged fight. So it's still like a hard matchup. I don't know. I mean, I think that historically the Vampire Counts have had a pretty good matchup versus these more savage, lightly armored factions, but Norska is a little bit different in that respect. And of course, Falcon, I'm sure, is very well prepared for this matchup. Yeah, we could set the timer, set timer to infinite also. Yeah, I mean, normally it doesn't go over 20 minutes, but in the case it does, it's really awkward. We're like, well, I guess it's a draw. So yeah, usually we do plan infinite timers for our tournaments. So we're going to have them set that in just a moment here. So Von Karstein going to be coming in with the Vampires. Maybe he can show us some new tricks, perhaps despite the nerfs to the Vargulfs and Invocation of Nehek and all that kind of good stuff. We're going to see some fun times. So got a couple donations that I missed as well. David coming in with the 5. Love the stream, Turin. Keep it up. Much appreciation from Scotland. Well, I hope all's well over in Scotland, David. And I hope you're enjoying the stream. A lot more action coming today. That was only the first game of the day. So we got Glasberg Gaming as well. He says, finally caught a live stream so I can, does that say slip? Slip you some sweet cash. Slanesh greater than Nurgle. Well, slip it in the cash, I suppose, would be more of a Slanesh thing. Decadence, all that kind of stuff. I feel like they would be more associated with that. So thank you so much, Glassberg Gaming. Do appreciate the donation. And hopefully you're enjoying the Eternal Challenger League Season 2. How does Nehek Earthblood pick for... Yeah, so Philip, I actually made a video talking about the patch notes and everything and my thoughts. And one of my first questions, I was like, how does it prioritize targets? If you have 10 targets there, is it going to be hitting all of them? Is it just going to be hitting? So maybe that's something we could test in a video. Not sure. It's a really, really good question. Maybe it just targets single entities and then just goes to 4 random, other, multi-units. I'm not sure. So Falcon coming out with a very interesting build. I wish I could discuss it with you guys. It is very, very unique. I've never seen a build quite like this. So you guys are in for a treat. Do you feel like goblins are missing anti-large units? Tomas says, no, I don't, because they now have Arachnok spiders, or Arachnok spiders have anti-large. So you just mix those in and they'll cover you. You have nasty skulkers to pin down large targets, and then you have goblin archers to take them apart. So if you want to play pure goblins, it can be pretty good. Mr. James, I'm glad you liked the Warcraft 3 games last night. I had some issues with the video afterwards. YouTube kind of screwed up the recording, so I might actually try and download it and re-upload it so you guys can watch it. It was really fun, though. We had a good time. Yeah, it'll be uploaded fresh, Kaiser. Yeah. I just had some issues with the audio on it. It was like out of sync, so I'm going to be trying to, see if I can fix that. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are probably in exam season, right? Like finals and whatnot. Getting to that time of the year. I remember the days, college, high school, when all you had to worry about was exams, and now I have student loan bills and medical bills, or I guess insurance and all that fun stuff, I guess. Yeah, greenskin anti-large is range for sure. I mean, yeah, you have biggins and things like that, but skulkers plus missiles are just super effective. Well, Falcon's build is some next level mind games for sure. It is, I don't really know what to say about it. If he's able to win with this, that's going to be pretty impressive. I don't know if he's memeing. I don't know what's going on here, but Falcon always comes to play, to plays for keeps, and he is the king of werewolves. We've dubbed him from his appearance in the Ever-Chosen Finals, where he brought like just 8 werewolves, or how many ever you're allowed to bring. That was pretty badass for sure. Three Kingdoms is pretty fun. I'll be doing some 3K streams in the next couple days. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to do one. I'm not sure. I know everyone else is doing that, so I'm kind of like, it's already a wild party, and Total War Warhammer is my jam. So, but I will be doing probably a campaign head-to-head with Professor Pone. I think we're going to be doing one. So yeah, it's going to be good. So I don't know if there was any substantial changes to Norsca. I don't think there was. Let's get rid of the screen blocker here. We're good to go. Players are loading in for the second match between Falcon and Von Karstein. So we have XMT facing off against Clan VM. Oscar, you've been binging the channel? Well, good, man. Welcome to your first stream. Eternal Challenger League, I would probably say, are the most fun streams here on the channel. They're always very exciting because there's always something at stake, right? We have the grand finals coming up, so individuals who do qualify will go on to the grand finale. Good evening, Major Moolah. Hope you're doing well. I need to actually go grab some water real quick. Oh, man. Having some allergies today, boys. You only missed the first game. I return. All right, guys. So this is just such an absurd build here from Falcon. Check it out. So in the front line, Falcon has all Marauder Hunters. And they actually have 36 melee attack in melee, which is pretty crazy. So in total, he has 4 of those bad boys. So these are the Throwing Axe variant. Obviously, they're going to be pretty good at burning down large targets or armored units. This is a very, very unique build. I don't think I've ever seen this build before. So Marauder Hunters in the front line. He does also have 4 groups of Marauder Horsemasters. 2 dragons. So he has 2 frost rooms up in the sky. Of course, frostbite and magic damage. The breath attack is going to be pretty powerful. And then he has Wolfric on the Mammoth, as well as a fire sorcerer. So Flaming Sword, Ruin, Fireball, and Burning Head. So I think what he's going to be trying to do, he's going to fan out the throwing axes. He's going to attack with the Mammoth and the dragons, form a firing concave, and just slowly start to pick apart the vampires. Now he does also have the frostbite, so he's going to be able to slow down priority targets. And yeah, this is just such a strange build. But I love it. I mean, that's why Falcon's such a solid player. He's able to come up with builds like this, which is pretty awesome. And over here, for the forces of Von Karstein, he does have a couple zombos in the front line, so it's going to be just standard zombies. Secondary line's going to be Graveguard, Stearnsmen. And now these guys are going to be pretty good against the throwing axes. Granted, the throwing axes do also have shield breakers, so they are going to be somewhat efficient against the silver shields of these bad boys. On top of that, Von Karstein has a couple Fellbats. He does have the Feasters in the Dusk, the Dire Pack, Vargulf, the Corpse Cart with Unholy Lodestone to help with the Graveguard in the front, which I think is quite good. And oh no, it is not who I think it is. It is Helman Gorst, Von Karstein coming in, trying to win the favor of the audience. So Helman Gorst got buffed actually. He got a cost reduction. The Mortis Engine effect that he now has is actually just ingrained and free, so you don't have to buy it anymore. So I mean, Helman Gorst did get buffed, but I just don't see Helman Gorst lasting long against like all these guys, as well as the dragons and Wolfric and fireballs. I mean, Helman Gorst, I have a feeling he's not going to make it very far. So man, what a wild situation. What a wild situation. Von Karstein coming out when he's against the ropes. He is down a game, he's on the edge of elimination, and he comes out with Helman Gorst here to try and win this game, which is going to be ludicrous. Yes. So here we go. I mean, Helman Gorst did get buffed. He did get some changes. His little AoE is actually free now, like I said. But man, Falcon is just, yeah, this build is going to be very good against Gorst. I feel like the Dragons plus the Fireballs plus the Marauder Horseman Fire is going to be really good. There are a couple deterrents here for the Vampire Counts. I was about to say for the Felbat army. For the Felbats, the Felbats can of course screen these guys out. Falcon coming in with the Mighty Ducks formation, so going to be charging forward with the Marauder Horsemasters. The Undead need to advance quickly. They need to jump on top of these guys because Falcon's going to be trying to do as much skirmishing as possible. Also, guys, another thing to nerf is that the Vargulf did get a little bit of a nerf as well to some of his stats. Not a big one. He's still going to be pretty good, but just some minor tweaks there. So up in the skies here, you can see the Frost Farms are going to be going in and some light skirmishing going down, and he's probably going to have to clear up the Felbats before he can fight the main force. And the Dragon's also going to be coming in to help. Now, that's a lot of breath attacks. In total, I believe we have 6 between these units. So the Graveguard are going to be taking a lot of breath attacks, but Von Karstein is relatively spread out, and he does also have some Blood Knights, so I did miss those guys. Now, the Blood Knights are going to be able to Shrek this formation pretty hard. I don't know how Falcon's going to protect this backside. I mean, the Blood Knights and the Hounds coming in, that's going to be super disruptive, plus the Feasters in the Dusk. Now, the Dragon's going to be pulling over here. You can see Falcon seeing the Blood Knights come out of the trees. They're actually hidden from even myself, but these guys probably going to be taking some damage, but the Blood Knights actually pull back. So at the last second, they decide not to take the engagement. They do lose a couple models, it looks like, to the throwing axes, and some of the doggos do jump in. The Dire Pack is going to be attacking the Marauder Hunters. Now, the Dragon's going to be able to clean those guys up pretty quick. And so far, Falcon's in pretty good shape, just kind of falling back with all of his troops. He does have a very kite-centric build, and it looks like the Gorilla Vargulf is going to be coming in to drop some bows on top of Wulfric. Now, so far, not too many heavy casualties taken. Granted, losing the Dire Pack like that is a little bit tough. However, they did almost kill some Marauders, so not a bad situation. And the Blood Knights are going to be coming in as well. A little bit scary for Wulfric here. The Blood Knights have the Scroll of Shielding, so they're going to be taking that fat damage resist. And it looks like the Necromancer is going to be dropping some summons, or maybe, yeah, actually does drop some summons right here. So Wulfric's taking a bit of a beating. I think Falcon needs to fall back. Von Karstein coming in with the Steel Chair. And right here, a massive breath attack coming down, and it looks like a Burning Head as well, but the Burning Head isn't going to do too much. Now, he needs to get Wulfric out. The Dragons are trying to help, but a massive undead force is coming. And man, if he loses Wulfric like this, that could actually just be a very, very quick match for Von Karstein here in this series. So Wulfric is kind of holding his own a little bit. The Blood Knights are getting beat up from those breath attacks, and of course there's a ton of Overwatch fire coming in from all these troops. Wulfric does also drop his Haggard Pirate Ship on top of the zombies and the Graveguard and those other troops, but hopefully he's going to be able to get out for the sake of the Norskins. Now, the Blood Knights are being picked apart. If Wulfric can get away and stabilize, I think the investment of having him kind of just tank this whole army. Oh, this blob is a little bit dangerous as well. I mean, Burning Head right here would actually be incredibly strong. So in the meantime, some of these Marauder Hunters with throwing axes are going to be continuing to pick apart the Blood Knights. And man, what a crazy army. Really no infantry, just the Dragons plus the Mammoth to kind of tank the front line. And the Blood Knights have 7 models. They are going to be crumbling. And at this point, it's basically just going to be a giant blob of Vampire Counts. Helman Gorst just memeing his way all the way to the bank in the back. And I mean, once the Vargulf and the Blood Knights are dealt with, I don't think Helman Gorst is going to be able to survive. And Falcon probably smells blood in the water. He's probably going to be grabbing these Frost Worms and just going over here and Shrekking Helman. I mean, what's going to protect Helman Gorst from 2 Frost Worms? Nothing. He's just going to get destroyed. So throwing axes in the meantime, going to be dropping some fire here into the main formation. They're just going to be hitting zombies and skeletons mostly. Big Papa Wulfric is in good shape, and he's honestly going to be able to probably fight the Vargulf. A huge breath attack coming in from Falcon, the dual breath attack, and you can see the entire Vampire Count force buckles under the pressure of those Frost Worms right there. Over here, Marauder Horsemen are just going to be circling about. I mean, they have so many good targets. They can go after the Vargulf. And Helman Gorst is really good against, like, I hesitate to say Helman Gorst is really good, but in situations in which he is good, it's going to be against very infantry-heavy armies where there's going to be, you know, Marauders and Berserkers, and his Mortis Engine can really help, his Corpse Card effects can help, but in this situation, I just don't see him being a happy camper. So right here, all of the Javelins are going to be attacking the Necromancer. The bounce power is actually really, really even, surprisingly, and it looks like a massive Burning Skull is going to be going down, so Falcon gets that juicy, just so good and tasty cast. It's going to be hitting all these troops, and you can see the zombies, the Graveguard, all those troops are really kind of struggling under the pressure of that magic. Wulfric has isolated the Necromancer, so probably one of the biggest mismatches in Warhammer history. You can see that this Necromancer here is going to be getting stomped by a giant Mammoth, which I'm sure he's going to love. That one shot takes him down. He almost dies. The Mammoth comes in again and attacks him, and the Necromancer is pretty much 100% dead. So with that, Falcon is pulling ahead in the bounce of power with this very absurd build. I mean, he still has some Marauder Hunters in the distance. Most of them have been taken out, but, you know, as the tooltip does infer, they're not terrible in melee. They have 36 melee attack, 28 weapon strength, so kind of like Marauder tier as it pertains to their melee stats. And I'm surprised he hasn't tried to kill Helman Gorst yet. It looks like he's saving the best for last. Wulfric with another Vortex spell, or not Vortex, but another Wind spell, going to be going down the formation with his Haggard Pirate Ship. And you can see here that Wulfric is going to be going after the Vargulf. Vargulf is in some serious trouble, so thank you, darling. Lovely wife just handing me my headphones. There we go. So right here, Wulfric is going to be just going to Pound Town on this Vargulf right here. It is a 3v1 situation. Fight or Die is also going to be buffing melee attack up to 64 on the Dragons. And yeah, they have the Flaming Sword of Ruin. The Vargulf is weak to fire. This is a disaster for the Vargulf, just getting taken to task by these Frostworms. Undead have some forces left. I mean, they have Helman Gorst and a bunch of like zombies and a Graveguard, but the Graveguard really just haven't had a home to fight this entire game. Now, I think had there been like one more group of Blood Knights or something, just a little bit more kind of anti-large punch and mobility, he probably would have been in okay shape. But man, that build really took it apart for sure. So more breath attacks going to be coming down right here. Gorse, man, you know, he tried to be the hero of his people, but alas, Helman Gorse is going to remain in the dumpster where he belongs. And you can see here that this giant Frostworm is going to be swooping down and trying to take him out there. So Marauder Horsemen have pretty good ammunition. Falcon's done a pretty good job keeping them, you know, healthy. They've barely taken any damage. What's really cool about Marauder Horsemasters is in the late game, they actually make decent kind of, you know, I wouldn't say shock out, but they do have a charge bonus of 30, which isn't terrible for a unit like that. So Wolfric and company just going to be cleaning up the last of the undead. The Dragon's probably out of breath attacks at this point, and Falcon had some really good breath attacks this game. But it looks like Falcon is going to be advancing to the finals of today's Eternal Challenger League Season 2 qualifier, as the Vampire counts are going to be crumbling to the might of Norsca. You can see here the Frostworm's looking pretty gangster as they do feast on these undead. Man, what a game. What a game. So as far as the rules for this tournament, we use a set of rules called the King's Cup rules. We try our best to follow them. Of course, sometimes I can't, since I don't have a referee in these matches, I can't catch everything because, again, I am casting more so than focusing on like rule breaks and things like that. But again, if there's something egregious, I usually do catch it. For example, you can only have like 3 single entities. So Falcon has the Mammoth and 2 Frostworms, which again is in the purview of the rules. But there's a multitude of other rules in terms of picks and stuff. It is a really, really good rule set. So this is the first matchup of the day. The second one is going to be Slade X facing off against Reginald Puggington, and Falcon will be awaiting the winner of that series in the grand finals, because I don't think Vampire counts are going to be able to come back here. Granted, Helman Gorse is making a decent little last stand here. I'm surprised he's not dead. And I mean, all these Vampire counts troops are, excuse me, Norscan troops are going to be getting slapped with the Mortis Engine effect now, and it looks like, oh my god, is Helman Gorse going to kill Wolfric? No way. He's got his whip out. He's got his brothers pulling that cart. There is a chance. There is a chance, but who knows? We're going to see Wolfric's taking a little bit of Mortis Engine damage, but the Frostworm is going to be switching its targets, and the zombies are pretty much crumbling across the board. There is a Shaman Sorcerer. Fireball is still available to the Norskins as well, but Helman Gorse is going to be crumbling due to army losses at this point, so good night, Sweet Prince. You will be remembered. And you know what? Did you see that? He like stood up on top of his car there for a second. What a champ. So the stream's been going on for about 30 minutes here, and now we are going to be moving on to the second matchup of the day, as Falcon is able to clinch a spot in the finals of today's qualifier. So well played to both players. I mean, you got to give Von Karshan props. For, you know, I'm a Helman Gorse man myself, so seeing him in action is always fun. So yeah, well played to both of these guys. That's going to be that series right there. So let's go ahead and say GG to the competitors. GG, guys. Falcon, go ahead and host lobbies for final. All right, great. So let's take a look at the bracket for today. So if we go ahead and take a look, Falcon is going to be moving on to the finals to face the winner of Slade X and Reginald Puggington. And again, the winner of the grand finals, for anyone who is new to the Eternal Challenger League, is going to be getting a place on the tablet of Tehenwin. So far, we have Zyphos and Al Halcone, who have both qualified. So yeah, Gorst was the last man to die, a true hero of his people. So yes, we're going to be jumping into the next game. Let's go ahead and make sure we can find it. Hopefully Steam doesn't have any drama here. Yes, everything's looking good. It's usually on Tuesdays that you have issues with Steam. Yes. Gorst getting in there with his whip. Truly a family man, you know, having all his brothers there, and yeah. All right, pick armies and start when ready. Oh, these guys are already ready. All right, so we're gonna have Slade X on the one side, so I have to update the scorecards real quick. So let's go ahead and reset the scores to 0. So professional, but you know, I don't have a tech person sitting on the side doing this for me, so I got to do it myself. Slade X. So Slade X is going to be facing off against Reginald Puggington. Slade, of course, a greenskin main. And you guys saw him on the channel the other day, defeating that very degenerate Vampire Count cheese build. That was always a good time. So here we're going to have, of course, Reginald Puggington. We'll just put R Puggington so it fits within the scorecard there, because it is a pretty long name. All right. It looks like it's showtime. Start when ready. We're going to be on Glacial Lake for our first map, and it's going to be the greenskins facing off against the undead. Not undead, excuse me, the Dark Elves. That is not the undead. It's hard to root against Puggington with a name like that. It really is. Yes, drop a like on the video. It does help out quite a bit. Helps promote the multiplayer community, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, Steam does have a maintenance every Tuesday, so that's like the day you don't want to stream, because like, unless you're doing single player, I don't think it matters, but yeah, it's go time. Roger, says Get Crumper. We're going to see if some of the Gits are going to get crumped by his greenskins. I have to tell you from experience, Slade is a very, very good greenskin player. So if any of you guys are fans of the WoW, you are in the right place, right time. We're going to see if they can take on the forces of the Dark Elves. The Drukari, as they're called in Warhammer 40,000. Is that Warhammer Drukari? Yeah, I think that's what they're called in 40k. The Amethyst Wizard does look like your classic, like, evil, cackling, mustache twirling villain for sure. Yeah, no, the Amethyst Wizard is now in the game, so we are playing in the new patch. So all the bounce changes are pertinent, they're in place. So it's mainly on the Undead factions as well as the Skaven. Skaven had some huge changes. Lizardmen obviously had a ton of huge changes, but Falcon, showed earlier the Lizardmen are still a force to be reckoned with for sure. He did very, very well in that game. So yes, Glacial Lake, first map. He says, I think I'm ready, old chap. I believe these two gentlemen are clanmates as well, so they're probably, chatting and working out their build and everything, which is good. I don't play Greenskins, but still WoW. Yeah, Greenskins are an awesome faction. They're an OG. They're like just a true fun faction to watch. They have really cool mechanics, and their units are just great. I mean, the comedic element of the Greenskins, plus them also being terrifying, is just what makes them so awesome. Why do they only play evil races when I arrive? I don't know, Spark. It's a good question. It's a good question. Greetings. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. See some new faces in here. So we are in the second set of matches. Falcon was able to win against Von Karstein. They're in the last series. So he's going to be waiting the winner of this series in the finals, and we're going to have a best of 5 there. Oh, okay. Agony Duck says, the Amethyst Wizard is in a weird place where it has been released, but not all users seem to have it yet. Okay, I got it, Agony. Thank you for that. And Duck, of course, would be the foremost authority on that. Having that insider experience. Hey, Agony, it's Oscar. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for joining on the stream. Hopefully you're enjoying some hot multiplayer action. I just woke up, so when I just wake up and cast, sometimes my brain doesn't match what my vocal cords are capable of, and it's just so my apologies if the casting's a little bit haggard, but you know what? We're trying our best here. As it gets, usually by the best of 5 comes around, I'm a little bit more warmed up and we're good to go. I did the tournament today because this weekend I have something else going on. So Saturday there's going to be something I'm doing, and you guys will hear about it soon, I'm sure. And yeah, it'll be fun. Why didn't they nerf Falcon in this patch? They should have just made it attached a nerf to Falcon's Steam account, so whenever he plays, all his units have 20% less HP. Just a player handicap. Nathan, I've not heard of Spartacus's bro Evan and his disgusting feat. I have not. Hey, Agony, I'm glad you do, man. Yeah, these are fun, man. Multiplayer is where it's at. I'm telling you, that's I think that the Total War franchise has just so much potential for the multiplayer, and obviously all the work you do to advocate for multiplayer on the back end. I appreciate that, man. You're a true hero of the people, Agony Duck, a true hero. Yes. Yes, I suffer a miscast chance due to fatigue. That is 100% accurate. So we got rid of the screen blocker. Everything's looking good. Score is 0-0 up there. And now let's take a look at the forces of the Greenskins. So Slade X, the Git Crumper, going wide, stretching a wall into the sunset. So for the front line, it's going to be Savage Orc Biggins, which are anti-large, kind of a dual-purpose unit. Honestly, they're pretty good at mulching through lightly armored infantry. Plus, they're pretty good against Dark Riders, Cold Ones, things like that. So yeah, I do like that pick. And we'll let him set up his army a little bit, I guess. And here he's got some Forest Goblin Spider Riders in the back, some Orc Piggies, but this is one of my favorite picks against Dark Elves. I love using the Doomdiver Catapult. It's a bit of a meme, but also it's quite good. I mean, it forces the Dark Elves into a position they're not comfortable in. So I think this is really cool. I love the Doomdiver. I mean, there's a lot of good targets too, like Shades, the Blackheart Corsairs, the Witch Elves, Sisters of Slaughter. They're all really juicy targets for a Doomdiver Catapult. The rest of the front line is going to be Savage Orc Biggins, the Warlord's Boys. So he does have the 2 ROR Goblins. In the back, he does also have Orc Air Boys. And Morgub's Mage Marauders in the back, going to be doing some skirmishing, as well as some Nasty Skulkers, which is pretty much a must bring. Nasty Skulkers are just so good in the back line. I mean, anytime a Dragon, Cav units, you have to have these bad boys. Probably one of the best units on the entire Greenskin roster, in my opinion. On top of that, we got a Night Goblin Shaman, and let's see what he's got kitted out with here. He does have Vindictive Glare and Gork will fix it for a slowing effect. And then we got Wurzhog. He's got some moves. He's dancing it up. He does have the Fist of Gork as well as Brainbust Wah, and of course, FG of the Get. Pretty badass little Greenskin force, going to be relying very heavily on the Savage Orc Biggins. And for the forces of the Drukhari, or the Dark Elves. They're not Drukhari, Dark Elves. Druchi, that's right. So he's got Dread Spears in the front line, just kind of standard chaff. A lot of high-level Dark Elf players, just go a little bit light. They just get Bleak Swords and Dread Spears and stuff like that in the front, and they win with their other troops. So in the secondary line, he does have the Sisters of Singing Doom, which are a great pick against Greenskins. Yes, they're going to be taking a ton of damage. However, they also do cause terror, which is really substantial against the Greenskins, who are a pretty low leadership faction. We got a couple shades as well. We do also have the Slaanesh Harvesters. No, thanks, darling. So we do have the Slaanesh Harvesters here in the back. Lady Turin saying hello again. And Knights of the Ebon Claw, Malekith up in the skies, it looks like. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for this Dark Elf Force. So right now, Dark Elf's going to be kind of taking count of all the greenskins here, but the Doomdiver Catapult is going to force them forward. In accordance with our tournament rules, they pretty much have to advance. A really unfortunate situation here in the back line. You can see the Git Crumper or Slade X does give the Knights of the Ebon Claw versus Spider Rider, so that's kind of the risk with Vanguard deployment, is like if you do it right behind the opponent's army, like you're gonna be in a bit of a pickle for sure. And the Knights of the Ebon Claw take a little bit of damage, but they're like one of the most elite cav units in the game, so they're going to be able to Shrek those goblins very quickly. So a bit of a tough loss for Slade. And also remember, guys, in this series, players cannot play the same faction twice in the same like best of 3 or best of 5. But look at the Doomdivers. Oh, and the Brainbuster coming in. Beautiful usage. So Warzog dropping some bows right here on top of the Sisters of Singing Doom. Look at the value trade on that. And that's a spell you almost never see, but the Doomdiver Catapult plus that, I mean, even though the Spider Riders did, get annihilated, they cost about 500 gold, give or take. So he's already gotten his money back. He's done a ton of damage against his sisters, some of the Dread Spears here in the front. So that is a really, really good pick so far. So in the meantime, Malekith is going to be circling up and around the flank, probably going to be looking for that big, juicy breath attack. I would imagine he's just going to be dropping it on these guys, but the goblins are going to be shooting at him, kind of fending him off here a little bit, and Malekith is going to be dropping a Gaze of Malice, which does get a nice little slap here on the Orc Airboys, but they're, quite a bit more durable than the standard goblins. So some of the Savage Orcs are going to be engaging. I would imagine the Y is going to be getting popped here in a second once his main force does engage, and you can see Reginald Puggington, this is a very good play. He pulls back with his infantry and then just hammers in with his cav. So the cav are going to be getting a nice charge here, Malekith charging it as well, so he's able to isolate these Biggins out in open field. Granted, the Biggins are pretty good against all these targets, so it's not a terrible situation. They are going to be able to get some damage in, and the rest of the Greenskin force is going to be colliding. 8-peak Loonies, the Git Crumpers, the Savage Orc Biggins and Git Crumpers. In the back, you can see some of the Cold Moon Knights. It looks like there was some more on the far side, and these Slanesh's Harvester is going to be looking for an in into the back line, and there's not too much protection back here. These Skulkers and Pigs, they need to come over here, otherwise this Doomdiver Catapult might get taken offline. Now in the main battle, you can see that some of the Bleak Swords and company have broken through the Savage Orcs due to Malekith the Witch King just getting balls deep in that front line right there. The Orc Airboys getting attacked by the Dragon King himself, and it looks like there's going to be a fat, juicy Soul Stealer in the front line. Now, a lot of the forces of the Dark Elves are getting pounded pretty bad. The Dread Spears and the Sisters and some of these other troops and the Knights of the Ebon Claw are all very low, so the Greenskins have gotten some pretty high-value targets. However, in the back line, you can see some of the Cold One Dread Knights, who are very, very powerful units, are able to get on top of the Doomdiver Catapult and take that out. So there is some back and forth. The Greenskin back line very much compromised. There wasn't too many groups of nasty Skulkers, but the infantry fight going heavily in the favor of the Greenskin. So right here, Malekith is going to be coming back here to make sure he gets a nice terror route on these guys. And the Ebon Claw, not Ebon Claw, but the Cold One Dread Knights should be able to kind of clean up some of these troops here. But the Savage Orc Biggins are, quite good against cav units. And nasty Skulkers come in. Oh no, and he gets a very juicy Smoke Bomb. So Malekith and all these troops are popped with the Smoke Bomb. They're surrounded by a bunch of angry pigs who looks like they're actually terrified. So maybe not so angry, but that would have been able to pin Malekith in had they not routed there. In the meantime, Morgrim's Mage Marauders are going to be kiting and shooting at some of the Knights of the Ebon Claw, or actually some of these Cold One Dread Knights right here. In the frontline fight, we do also have the Warlords boys and the Savage Orcs, who are in very good shape. They've been able to crump all over these Gits right here. The Bleak Swords and these other troops are really taking a lot of damage here, but they still have some, elite cav, and I believe that the Slanesh's Harvesters are still in good shape. And I can tell you from experience that Malekith, even if he's like, the only thing left against Greenskins, can really do some work, especially if he can snipe out Warzog. Now, Warzog's actually pretty low, but he is on foot, which is going to make him a little bit tougher to kill. Footlords sometimes get knocked over instead of actually taking damage, so that is a variable that could come into play here in the late game. Malekith does come in and attack the Night Goblin Shaman, but like I said, he gets punted instead of taking damage, which is, I think that's cool. It's good that he's a little bit more durable on foot. Now, as far as the Dark Elves' forces, if we take inventory, he's got some Shades right here. He has some Dread Spears here on the far side. Malekith is in okay shape, but the rest of the troops are really just getting hammered down. Slanesh's Harvesters, they're fighting Spider Riders, so they're poisoned. They're fighting the anti-large of the Savage Orc Biggins, which is also going to be good, and plus they don't have a lot of armor, so they really play into the strengths of these Savage Orc Biggins here. And you can see the very expensive troops, these Slanesh's Harvesters, are going to be getting pulled off here. Now, the bounce power is actually pretty even, believe it or not, because Malekith is so damn powerful. It's going to really count for quite a bit in the bounce power. A nice breath attack coming down here on the Git Crumper. You can see Slade X going to be taking a little bit of damage here, but Malekith really needs to snipe out some high-value targets. Probably just got to go in and try and finish off Warzog and just hope for a terror route at this point. I mean, the Shades are still here. That gives them a little bit of punch, but honestly, like most Greenskin skirmisher troops could easily just pin those guys down and finish them off. Malekith does land here, getting a pretty good jump here on the Night Goblin Shaman, so trying to get rid of the Vindictive Glare as well as the Gorkle Fix-It, but he really needs to get Warzog, I think. I think Warzog would be a little bit more impactful than the Goblin Shaman, and Warzog's actually out in the open. And the Greenskins don't really have too many ways of slowing down forces right now, so if he does kind of cycle back here and jump on that, and look at that Brainbuster right there from Warzog, doing so much damage. What a beautiful cast. So, that's a spell you almost never see, but I guess, it's pretty good, right? And that's what's so cool about seeing, all these different players here and their play styles. You get to see what, get to see stuff that normally you don't see. So right here, some of the Chariots, these Cold One Chariots are going to be jumping in to crack open a Cold One with the boys, but I don't know if the boys are going to have it. You can see they're going to be charging in. They're actually wavering. Savage Orcs are hot on their tail. there are a couple Dark Elves in the distance fighting, 4 Knights of the Ebon Claw and 4 Sisters of Singing Doom. So 4 and 4, the holy group of 8 over here are going to be trying their best to fight. Malekith is really the only saving grace here. And eventually, once all the other troops are killed for the Dark Elves, he's going to have to stay in combat and fight. You actually can't cycle charge in accordance with our rules if that's your only thing left. So, the Greenskins probably just want to focus on killing everything else, and then Malekith will be forced into combat due to our rules. So, Sisters of Singing Doom, literally fighting to the last model. I think this is the last lady here. So let's go ahead and watch her glorious fight and see how this goes for her. Looks like she's like, screw this shit, I'm out of here. I don't want to fight these big, just angry greenskin dudes. Yeah, she's like a peace out right now. I mean, she deserves it. 1 model left, go home, celebrate, do what you gotta do. So right here, Malekith going to be jumping down and actually going after, is that? No, that Mangy Marauders. Okay, so it wasn't the Baconator. Baconator's lurking somewhere. He's actually over here in the distance. Slade, of course, is going to be hiding it next to Nasty Skulkers, which is very smart because if Malekith then jumps in, he's going to be able to pin it down. So far the Wa is just coming in ferocious. They're just taking no mercy here on the Witch King. The Witch King is going to be jumping in and probably going to be going after Warzog. I mean, that's pretty much his only lifeline. If he could kill all the Greenskin leadership and then just, get a couple good charges. Oh, is that going to be a smoke bomb? Not a smoke bomb. Yeah, a smoke bomb coming down right here on Malekith, but he responds with a beautiful Soul Stealer and a Chill Wind. That Soul Stealer is going to get so much value, hitting all these troops right here. Oh, that is so good. Malekith is also going to be getting healed up by that, but he has nothing else left. But that Soul Stealer just eviscerated these guys. It just tore apart the infantry. The bounce fire is a little bit in Slade's favor, but it's still a very, very close fight. These players obviously very evenly matched here. You can see the Dragon's going to be jumping over there with a nice animation. And probably going to be going after the little Goblin, I would imagine. But yeah, the Greenskin Wa is just angry. And there's still Forest Goblin Spider Riders here, which means there's going to be slow, there's going to be poison, there is decent mass. And the Skulkers are in okay shape. Oh, a Brainbuster coming down here, doing some really good damage. Man, that spell is solid. And does trigger the Bonewood Staff quite often. Look at this. Warzog in the face of a charging Black Dragon is just going to be dancing and having a good time here, which is pretty great. So at this point, yeah, he's got to duck and run a little bit, though. Oh, FG of the Gate going down. It's going to be pinning Malekith in place. He's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be charging in with everything. Oh, he's getting in there. He's not going to let them, crump this Git without him. So he's going to be running in and out of there. He's got his club. Man, what a game here. Very, very closely contested. Malekith's Black Dragon in some trouble. Going to be getting surrounded, and it looks like Savajork Bagans and company should be able to club him down. So Malekith, this ancient elf, one of the Phoenix Kings, is going to be slain by a bunch of Savage Orcs and Goblins and Orcs. I bet it's pretty shameful for all those ancient, in terms of lore, whenever they lose the Greenskins, it's god damn it, we lost to a bunch of Goblins and Orcs with clubs and sticks. But very well played to both players. Reginald Puggington played a great game with the Dark Elves. Slade X, obviously a very proficient Greenskin player, is going to be taking the first game here, so well played to both of these guys. I loved Puggington's build, seeing the Coldwind Dread Knights, and just a very diverse build. I thought it was quite cool. But alas, the Greenskin Wa came in with a ferocious thunder and was able to run those troops down. So man, great stuff there. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. That's going to be game 1 here. Slade X and his Greenskins are going to be taking the first match. We'll get the screen blocker back up to make sure that no treachery is afoot. All right, so next map. Yeah, GG, well played. Pick armies and start when ready. All right, let's go ahead and read chat. Let's see what's going on. So we got a donation from the Spark. He says, buy skink for your dog. Buy skink for your dog. Oh, his skink is ham in Danish. Oh, that's pretty. Is it really? That's pretty funny. Spark, thank you for the 50, man, for the DKK. I really appreciate it, man. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. It's been pretty good so far. Von Karstein in chat, who actually just had a really good series against Falcon, says that he restarted Steam and now the Wizard is available. So the Spark, no problem, man. I will. Timmy G, I am a madman, but you know what? Time waits for no one. Malekith apparently not a Mad King, unlike Daenerys. Oh my god. You guys. Bring the Amethyst Wizard. Well, I don't know if the players have access to it yet. My favorite faction to play right now, I mean, in general, in terms of lore, it's going to be Dwarves and Empire, but my favorite factions to play right now are probably, I don't know, I really like playing Empire, a lot. Empire is really, really fun. I like the Empire Coast. That's probably one of my better factions as well. I actually like Lizardmen and Skaven quite a bit now with the new changes. I mean, heavily armored infantry would have been really good against that greenskin build for sure, because he didn't have any AP in the front line really. So if he did come in with like Corsairs and Harganeth Executioners, he probably wouldn't have been able to. He probably would have been able to win the front line engagement, but there was other issues as well. There's a lot of other greenskin threats. So glad the stream is today. Off to Australia on Saturday. Oh, okay. See you, Mike. Well, glad you can make it, man. Oh man. Just checking some settings real quick. I don't know how to private message this guy. 1 second here. One second, guys. So some rules questions. I can't quite remember that one, so we're going to go ahead and double check the rules on that. Slade X is up 1-0 here. And the initial rounds are, of course, best of threes. So Jimmy G in chat says, I love Slade. He's a great guy, but no idea how he's going to win without greenskins, because that's his like main faction. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Corsairs are pretty good against greenskins. The armor really helps out quite a bit. I mean, obviously they'll get pounded by black orcs pretty bad, but a lot of greenskin players don't use black orcs. I mean, I personally do. But yeah, Slade is the Wa. Oh, man. Are there any other famous examples of Skaven artillery? I'm not sure. The Depressed Manatee. Your name makes me a little bit sad, but... it's some good-ass water right there. Some good water, my friends. Getting ready for the next match here between these two fine gentlemen. Best of three. So yeah, the Git Crumper, or Slade X, is a very good greenskin player, so we're going to see if he can carry that over to some of the other factions. And, you know, he's certainly going to have to be prepared for the Grand Finals if he does make it, to face off against the great Falcon, the Dark Lord of Total War Warhammer these days. Yeah, in the books, I mean, if you read some of the books about Skaven, Warhammer Fantasy books, they have all kinds of crazy contraptions, for sure. I'm trying to think, like, what things are explicitly articulated. Yeah, I mean, you hear about clan rats a lot. Globadiers are pretty common in some of the books. The Grey Seers, you see them in battle. Their artillery and, like, the flamethrowers are, you know, pretty common, especially when they're fighting dwarves, because they're in, like, tunnels and stuff. He could just be pressed under the water, Turin. Don't be sad. That's fair. Oh, man. Oh, I gotta go to bed earlier, guys. I was up so late. I stay up till like 2 or 3 every night. Lady Turin and I just watch so many movies and TV shows and things like that. It's hard for us to get a proper sleeping schedule. Good ass water, that's pretty taboo. Oh, love. Professor Pone. Oh man, Reed, what a nerd. We had some really fun Warcraft 3 games last night, actually. Frozen Throne. Oh. But yeah, I'm definitely happy with a lot of the bounce changes. I mean, obviously there's so much. It's kind of hard to give a general consensus of things, but I do have a video going up. It'll probably go up after the stream, talking about all the bounce changes and everything. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with them, though. I mean, Invocation of Heck, I mean, hitting 4 targets, I don't think that's that big of a deal, but of course the cost increase is pretty punishing. So we'll see how that all plays out. Watching movies, quote. Trust me, Lizardmen are still super strong. Skaven are still going to be extremely strong. I don't think they're going to be, like, those factions are going to suck now. I mean, they're both very good. Yeah, they're both very good still. So Slade making some final tweaks to his build here in the last moment. Definitely like it quite a bit. It's a bit of an old school Dark Elf build. Something that don't see terribly often, but I think it's going to be pretty good. So it's going to be Dark Elves versus Vampire counts. So we're going to see if the Invocation of Nehek nerf is going to hold the Vampire counts back, or if they're going to be moving on to the finals. Well, I guess actually if Reginald wins, it's going to be best of 3. So there will be another game after that. So Not you haven't played any online matches, but I see that many of them people bring 10 to 15 units. Is that an advantage to try? Bringing a full, it really depends on your playstyle. I mean, you can go with elite armies if you want, but I mean, I feel like going very wide is more micro intensive typically. So if you're more of a beginner, elite armies are going to be a little bit easier for you. But again, the downside of elite armies is that if you get kited or focused down in terms of missile pressure, like you lose a lot more than if you just lose like some random goblins or something. So. JW, I'm not sure. I don't think so. Yeah, it depends. I mean, Falcon's first army was extremely elite, and it worked very well in the earlier matches. So I mean, it depends on the matchup and other circumstances. We have some very good players in chat here, so feel free to ask any questions as well. So we're going to be on one of the more classic multiplayer maps. Got some fun Vanguard options as well as good open field. A beautiful landscape here. You can see the ocean, and then I believe there's a castle up in the hill somewhere. Oh, yeah, it looks like a little Bretonian castle. This would actually be a really cool place to live. I mean, as long as you're within the castle walls. I mean, Warhammer, you probably never want to live outside of like a major city, because it's just always getting like ransacked by some like sinister race, or like greenskins or like Norskins or something. Yeah. No, there's no units that are banned like all out or spells. I mean, everything can be used. It's just like limiting the amount of them you can use. So for example, you can't bring like multiple casters with the same spell, because obviously people would bring like multiple vampires with like Spirit Leech, and they would just like spam that on you, and it's pretty obnoxious. So like, yeah, just things like that. So for the forces of Reginald Puggington, the Dark Lord of the Pugs, in the front line he's got Skeleton Spearmen, Skeleton Warriors, the Stearnsmen. So he's going very wide into the sunset. He does also have the Varix Reavers, it looks like, so they're going to be his shock cav. Varix Reavers are a very good unit. Regeneration, very good against infantry. Nice little charge bonus. Definitely like those guys quite a bit. He does also have some Blood Knights for his anti-large. So going to be going after the enemy cav units, dragons, hydras, things like that. And Blood Knights are pretty solid. Those guys do some work. They're pretty expensive, but they pay their dues and can be healed, of course. He does also have the dreaded Black Coach. And I love how over the time, the history of Total War Warhammer, the Black Coach went from just being like this haggard-ass meme to being like an actually good unit. So we're going to be seeing the dreaded Black Coach coming in there and seeing if it can drop its coffin chair. We do also have a Lamian Vampire Lord. So the Lamian Vampire Lord has some interesting abilities. He does have Seduction, or she. Minus 26 melee attack and speed, which is pretty good in duels. Lightning reflexes, so yeah, can definitely get some pretty juicy stats in melee. The Scepter of Instability, or Stability here. Instability, that'd be funny. 44% magic resist, and it looks like he does have a combination of Shadows with Pendulum and Invocation of the Heck and Raised Dead. So very solid little army. He's got some Black Knights and Fellbats on top of that, so we're going to see how those bad boys do. And for the forces of the Dark Elves, we got Blackheart Corsairs in the front line, Dark Shards in the secondary, and just in case anything does get into the back line, the Witch Elves are going to rampage them, pick them apart, and also clean up zombies. Looks like here we do have the Dread Spears, who are going to be getting slapped with a very unfortunate Power of Darkness for them. It's unfortunate for them, so they're going to be taking some damage. And 3 groups of Coldwind Spears. So it's going to be a defensive missile formation, just kind of defending, grinding out the vampires, and hoping to get value from the Dark Shards. So Dark Shards are going to have their work cut out for them. There are a couple of big targets. Lamian Vampire Lord is a very good target. Black Coach is a decent target. And of course, Blood Knights and the Cav units are pretty important as well. And it looks like we just got a donation as well. Let's go ahead and tap that before we get going. Rando Howard, thank you, man, for the 10 euros. Do appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. And yeah, a lot more action. We still have another best of 5 after this series. So yeah, we're here for at least another hour probably. Yeah, I really do like the Lamian Vampire Lord. I think that's a cool pick. You don't see it terribly often. So right now you can see that the Blackheart Corsairs and company are going to be advancing onto the vampire counts. And it looks like some of the golems are going to be coming out of the force. Now, golems actually have a good fight against Dread Spears. Not so much against Blackheart Corsairs because Crypt Ghouls don't have the best AP. Oh, look at that juke. He's got the moves like Jagger. Reginald Puggington is able to juke out that chill one right there, and then he's going to be coming back in here with these guys and trying to get that juicy surround. So that was a nice little move right there. I don't know if that was intentional, but it looked quite good. Malekith is also going to be on foot, so he's got his sword. He does, of course, have the Soul Stealer, Chillwind, and the Power of Darkness. So Soul Stealer is probably going to be the best spell against vampires. It's just so good. Now, the dreaded Black Coach is coming in. I feel like this Dark Elf flank here is just going to get wrecked. I mean, the Blood Knights against Unbraced Dread Spears are just going to, oh man, it's going to be the business. So they were unbraced. Oh my god, that was a massacre. Those guys have a huge charge bonus, and look at that. Down to half health instantly. It doesn't matter if they have spears. If they're not braced, they're going to get just punished. So the Coldwind Knights are going to be countercharging right here. Puggington does fall back. Oh, just beautiful play. And he moves forward the Skeleton Spears, and now we can countercharge with the Blood Knights again. That was a really nice engagement over there. Now, here on the far side, we do have a bit of a cockfight. The Lamian Vampire Lord and the Black Knights have kind of swamped down on top of these Coldwind Knights and these Corsairs. But the Coldwind Knights from the Dark Elves are going to be countercharging. Some of the Witch Elves are going to be running in there as well. So this Lamian Vampire Lord could be in some trouble. Looks like there is going to be a fat Chillwind or something getting dropped right there. No, a Pendulum coming down from the Vampire Lord. So far, pretty even fight. Vampires across the board are doing okay, but the Dark Elves, of course, have had some really good retorts. The Blood Knights here are actually in sustained combat against Spears, which you do not want. So right here, I think that Pug needs to pull those guys back. But over here, the Vampires are actually getting melted all of a sudden, but a huge breath attack coming in from the Lamian Vampire Lord on the Dragon. Able to hit the Cold One Knights, and look, they've been seduced, so their speed and these other stats are actually lowered. That's really good. That's actually AoE, so melee attack and speed, that is really, really powerful. So the dreaded Black Coach is going to be getting into the back line. Some of the Dark Shards have been compromised by Fellbats. Black Coach is in a little bit of danger, though. He needs to watch out. These Cold One Knights are going to be able to jump on him. Malekith, of course, is going to be charging him as well. And on the flank, the Blood Knights are going to be getting up and around and looking to kind of unite. I think the Vampires probably need to pile up a little bit. It seems like a lot of their chaff units are starting to slowly get worn down. I mean, they didn't have too many elite troops, I suppose. I think there's some Graveguard. It looks like Varric Reavers in the back may have been forgotten for some time, but they are going to be jumping in here. And the Lamian Vampire Lord is going to be taking a fight right here, but definitely needs the help of these Varric Reavers because these Cold One Knights are going to be very strong. And if the Lamian Vampire Lord actually gets rampaged here by the Witch Elves, that is going to be an absolute disaster. That could be like a game-losing circumstance. So the bounce power is pretty even. If we look around, the Blood Knights in the back are just looking for opportunities. They could get a charge here, but you can see here that the Gate Crumper or Slade X is doing a very good job of protecting all of his forces. He's not leaving the Dark Shards unprotected. He's leaving Cold One Knights there. He's got spears kind of all over the map, which is quite good. And the Blood Knights get a nice little charge right there, but they're probably going to be taking a counter charge from these Knights right here. So their charge bonus isn't going to be helping them, which is going to be a bit disastrous. So right here, Slade X actually is able to get a great jump on the Lamian Vampire Lord, who does get tagged with an Invocation of Heck on his own. But the bounce power goes massively in the favor of the Dark Elves. So I feel like the Vampire Count forces are just kind of crumbling across the board. The Blood Knights, didn't get their charge off. They're being rampaged by Witch Elves. The Undead Infantry is pretty much just chaff. It's mostly Skeleton Warriors and just kind of low-tier troops, so they're not going to have the best chance here. And another breath attack coming in from the Lamian Vampire Lord, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to be too much for them to get back in this game. That was a very nice breath attack against those Dark Shards, but it's just Lamian Vampire Lord's so beat up. The Dark Elves are just kind of dominating the ground. I mean, there's a couple spears in the flanks and different things like that, but I don't know. I don't know if there's enough left. Lamian Vampire Lord is going to pop Lightning Reflexes for that speed and that ward save, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. A couple Zombos over here still fighting. Blood Knights are in sustained combat, which is really, really bad for them. Witch Elves are going to be rampaging them. Cold One Knights with anti-large and armor piercing. It's just going to be a really disastrous situation for the bony boys over there. The Sternsmen probably have been one of the better units here. They've 59 kills they've been able to hold and keep Malekith and the Witch Elves at bay for quite some time. But I think we needed a couple hounds here for the vampire counts just to kind of because you can't just rely on the heavy cav to deal with the backline. They need to be fighting the enemy heavy cav most likely, and then harass units like Hounds and Direwolves should be getting into the backline and attacking the Dark Shards, in my opinion. A Soul Stealer is going to be getting popped. I think it looks like it might have gotten dropped over here, and it is going to be going off to the Lamian Vampire Lord, who's also going to be taking some heavy fire from the Dark Shards. The dreaded Black Coach is still here, though, and never count out the Black Coach. This thing is a terror in the night, to say the least. So you can see here that the Black Coach is going to be jumping in, and yeah, that Lamian Vampire Lord is getting taken to Pound Town. So I suppose, I don't know if she's enjoying it, but it's looking a little bit tough here. Yeah, Lamian Vampire Lord going to be getting shot down by all the Dark Shards, and you can see here 295 HP, and down she goes. She had put up a good fight, but alas, the Dark Shards and the Focus Fire was a lot. The Witch Elves were able to rampage her for quite some time. Malekith was able to drop some bows on her, and that's going to be game. So Slade X is going to be advancing to the finals to face off against Felcon. Man, yeah, the start did look good for the vampire counts. He had some really good plays in the beginning. Puggington put up a great fight, but the vampire counts were able to just endure and just grind him out. Yeah, it was a good build. It was a really good build. I mean, the Corsairs could just beat all that trash infantry all day. The Witch Elves plus Dark Shards and 3 Cold One Knights was like a heavy counter against the Black Knights and the Coach and everything. I felt like Slade's builder, Gate Crumper, he had some really good answers for all that stuff. So let's update the scoreboard here. Slade X is going to win that series 2-0. And let's go ahead and move on over to the bracket for today, where Slade is going to be moving on to the finals to face Felcon. And from here, we're going to set up the finals lobby. So Felcon is hosting. Jump in it. All right, so we're going to be going to the finals here, setting it up. Slade did do it for the boys, and I can assure you he's probably going to be opening up against Felcon with the boys. So, yes. All right, ECL finals map is here. We're going to join up. It's going to be a good final. Oh, yeah. So Felcon's here. And does he... Oh, he does have access. He's on the Empire with his Amethyst Wizard. He's on the... He's got the goods here. So I'm just trying to decide on the maps here for the finals. I usually decide these ones on the spot just based on impulse. So we'll do this. Sword of Torgald. Sword of Torgald shall be a good map. Now we can jump back to the scorecards here and we can update those. So let's get this going. And it's going to be Falcon, the winner of the first season, facing off against an up-and-coming challenger in Slade X. Let's get this going here. Slade X. Great. Sword of Torvald, game 1. Falcon starts with pick and ban or gents. No rush. All right, so these two fine gentlemen are going to be working out the nuances of their grand finals here. So let's go ahead and get that going. Get the screen blocker up. All right, 1 second here. Just checking my settings to make sure everything's good with the stream. Looks like everything is indeed solid. I really hope Falcon brings the haggard cackling wizard. Oh my god, that's going to be so great. So Get Grumper in chat says, just going to treat myself to a large whiskey because he has to play Falcon. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god. All right, guys, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So Tiamat64 with the donation, he says, needs to come in with a heavy metal warrior priest having a full chub for Sigmar. Dude, I couldn't agree more. Warrior priests are the coolest characters. Falcon for ECL 2, two-time champ. Well, we're going to see. It's certainly possible. But first he has to get through Slade X, the fierce warlord of the Badlands. It's going to be good. Taking him to Pound Town. I love using the pound symbol. Oh my god. Thank you for the pounds, man. Appreciate it. Tiamat64. My laptop screen is really small, so sometimes it's hard to actually like see all that as well. Yeah. So the players are working out the matches here, which is good. In the meantime, we'll come back to the tablet. So far we've had Zyphos and El Halcon qualify in the first 2 weeks. And the winner of this best of 5 here will indeed earn a spot on the tablet of Tehenwin, which is always a pretty solid place to be. And of course, the Eternal Challenger League Grand Finals will hopefully have substantial cash prizes. I'm going to be trying to get some sponsors and everything, and at the very least, I'll put in a bit of my own money. But I'm going to be trying to make it bigger and bigger to increase the Total War esports community, kind of its presence, its place on the earth. So yeah, those are the 2 qualifiers from the past week. So far, some stiff competition already. I mean, Zyphos, just an OG of Total War Warhammer, or Total War multiplayer in general. I mean, he's extremely good. El Halcon coming in with a 3-0 against Gobbo King last week. He just man was on fire. So very, very good stuff from those players. So yeah, guys, we're here. We're just going to be hanging tight. The patch notes video is going to be going up after this tournament. So it's already uploaded. I have the thumbnail and everything. So it's just a matter of time. I just was figured, hey, let's do this first. Yeah, Lotus Moon will be playing in the Eternal Challenger Leagues as well. He's I'm not sure what week he's going to be on, but he'll be playing at some point in the next couple weeks. So yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're back in. Looks like the first match might actually be Empire versus Greenskins, which would be pretty fun. Start when ready. No rush. $10, 10 bucks on Falcon. Oh man. Rupees. You guys are just trying to make it complicated for me. Yeah, Zyphos is extremely good. He's really, really good. So this Eternal Challenger League Finals is going to be super, super intense for sure. Oh, Falcon Sensei Desine. Oh my god. Falcon wa totemo jozu desu. I'm trying to remember how would I say. Falcon wa Totoro Warhammer ga totemo jozu desu? Jozu means like good at in Japanese. I can't remember. You could say Falcon. I was about to like mix in Polish with that. How would I say like Ichiban is number 1, so you could say like Falcon wa Ichiban na Totoro Warhammer something. Yeah, it's been a while. I studied Japanese in high school. I used to be able to at least form sentences, but oh, wrong button. Wrong button. No, bad. Sorry about that, guys. I think we should be fine. So Flat and Bread, thank you for the donation, man. He says, love me some ECL games after finishing up finals. Thanks again for putting these on, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the donation, firstly, and hopefully you'll be able to play in one of these someday. I know you're quite a good player yourself. Only the Gobos can beat Falcon. We're going to see. It's not often he drops a game, but the Git Crumper, of course, is specialist with the greenskins. Slade X, a very, very good player as well. So he's going to be coming in to deal with the Empire. Falcon and Lotus Moon actually did play in the last Eternal Challenger League Grand Finals, and it was a super tense series. It was 2-1. Falcon was able to just barely edge it out. Those were some of the best games we had. They were really, really good. So Falcon says to his opponent, are you ready to get crumped? You know what's funny about like the whole Japanese thing is like I don't even like anime, but like at high school it was either Spanish or Japanese or Latin. And I couldn't roll my R's. Like, I just couldn't, like, do Spanish. Like, it's so difficult for me to roll my R's and, like, pronounce, like, I don't know why. It was, like, a mental thing. So, like, yeah, Japanese would be fun. And, yeah. I mean, I liked Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid. That was a pretty great show. Like, old school Dragon Ball Z. I guess I watched the original Gundam series, like, the one from, like, the 70s or 80s. That one was fun. What other shows have I watched that are animes? There's one called the... Records of the Lotus Wars or something that was really good. It was like a Dungeons and Dragons one back in the day. Yeah. Falcon's like, I got some new stuff. Cough, cough. Oh my god. He's just like telling his opponent what he's bringing. I love it. The hubris there. The hubris. There's a bit of a Korean audience for Total War Warhammer 2. Like occasionally if you go on at odd hours, you'll see like Korean streamers playing. And I know there's a bit of a multiplayer community. There's some really good players. I know Kark is I believe he's Korean and he's really, really good. Oh yeah, Fist of the North Star. Yeah, I did watch that one too. I remember watching that as a kid and being like, oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I can speak a little Japanese. I mean, I remember the basic. Yeah, Records of the Lotus War was like one of my favorite shows as a kid because it was basically like a Dungeons and Dragons show. It was like awesome. And I remember going to my local video store, which wasn't even a Blockbuster. It was like a mom and pop video store, and they had it there, and I used to rent it. It was great as a child. Hajimemashite, boku no namae wa Turin desu. Boku no shigoto wa Total War Warhammer YouTuber. Ima boku no atama ga itai desu. Yes. Yeah, I can still speak, like, have basic conversation, but like it's pretty rough. All right, guys. So screen blocker's up. Back to business now. It's going to be Falcon playing the forces of the Empire, who are going to be led by the Emperor Karl Franz. They're going to be the classic matchup. The Empire holding back the Greenskin Wa. Is the Greenskin Wa going to be able to conquer the Emperor and push into the Imperial lands, or is Karl Franz going to make his stand here and claim the Warhammer Karl Miraz? So for the forces of the Empire, we got Karl Miraz up in the skies, Karl Franz, with the Reichel Runefang plus the Hammer of Sigmar. So he's going to be dual wielding those bad boys up in the sky, I'm sure. On top of that, we do have the Royal Outdorf Griffites, a great pick against Greenskins. They can deal with any large threats, any cav units. They cause terror. These guys are just absolute beasts. On top of that, we have two groups of the Knights of the Blazing Sun, a very solid pick. Pistoliers as well for some light skirmishing, but the rest of the army, this is like his build he brought earlier. I don't know if this is something he's been doing a lot lately, but he's got a bunch of Free Company militia here, which is wild. I mean, there's no infantry. I mean, I guess Imperial infantry really do struggle against greenskins anyway, so might as well just just not bring any, I guess, right? This is the school of thought. Now, what you're all waiting for is, so of course we have Carl, we have the Jade Wizard, but look at this. We have the evil cackling wizard himself, the Amethyst Wizard. So he's going to bring the purple sun. Won't you come? Yes, it's going to be great. So we got the Amethyst Wizard and a Jade Wizard with Earthblood and Purple Sun are going to be the only 2 spells, which is going to be pretty badass. I'm really surprised no Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech is super good against greenskins, but nonetheless, that's the forces for Falcon, the Eternal Challenger League Season 2 champion. Now, for the up-and-coming challenger, the Git Crumper, also known as Slade X. In the front line, he's got a bunch of goblins, which are going to be super good against the Free Company Militia. They got shields, they're cheap as hell. He's got some goblins, he's got a bunch of archers, orc air boys here. He does also have some trolls. He's got some trolls in the back, but one thing that I think he needs more of are nasty skulkers against the Empire to slow down the heavy cav. But, I mean, he has black orcs in the back. He does also have the Forest Goblin Spider Riders and 2 Doomdiver Catapults. So Falcon very much has a build that doesn't want to attack. It wants to sit and kind of force you in and pick you apart with its missiles and cycle charging. But the Doomdiver Catapults are a beautiful pick here from Slade X. I love that. It's going to force Falcon in and give him a lot of trouble. So he does also have a Night Goblin Shaman here. And up on the high ground, he does have a Night Goblin Warboss with a Tormentor Sword, which is quite good against the Empire. And on the low ground, an Orc Shaman with the Brainbuster. So, I mean, extremely solid build from Slade. I mean, that is a mean force. Falcon certainly has his work cut out for him. That is going to be tough to crack. So, start when ready. Good luck, good luck. Yes, the maps are the next ones. Yeah, Soundgarden is one of my favorite bands. It's, oh man, I could listen to that album all day. Super Unknown, it's so good. No Spirit Leech, Falcon's trying to seduce us. Oh man. All right, so the Free Company Militia going to be surging forward, but the Goblins are more than happy to take those bullets. Like, they got silver shields, they have bodies for days. And look at the Brain Bursters. I mean, so much value. It's such a cheap spell. Look at that. We're learning something new today. The metagame, Slade is giving us all a lesson on how to play Greenskin. So right here, the Knights of the Blazing Sun going to be taking a fat erect charge from Meridia. They're going to be getting in there and couching their lances. I don't know if they were targeting the Goblins. Oh yeah, they were. Okay, the last second the Goblins get lanced pretty bad, taking some huge shock damage. So far, Falcon's given the business right back. He is going to be landing Carl over here on these orcs, and the Goblins are going to be getting rode down by the Royal Altar of Griffites, which is going to be probably an instant terror out for them. Now the Knights are going to be falling back. The Goblins are going to be advancing. Free Company Militia are going to be turning about face to get some pot shots. And Knights of the Blazing Sun do actually get caught up on the Goblins on the flanks. A little bit of a missed micro here on these guys, but nonetheless, they should be able to get back there eventually. Now, Carl has done some pretty good work. Goblins, of course, have been routed off. But remember, these Goblins, that's only 150 gold worth of damage. It's really not going to be a lot. So even losing that isn't a big deal if you go very wide. Carl Franz and company, ooh, this is a little bit dangerous. Carl might actually get caught up here. And if he does, there's Black Orcs. There's a Night Goblin Warboss coming in. That Tormentor Sword could be very, very nasty right here, guys. This could be a very, very big moment for the Greenskins as they do pile in. But also a Purple Sun could come down. Purple Sun could be doing some heavy damage. In the back, you could also see Falcon has gotten in there with some Knights of the Blazing Sun. Royal Altar of Griffites are going to be charging in as well, which I think is going to turn the tide. Those bad boys, oh, is there going to be a Purple Sun? It looks like a Purple Sun's going to be coming down. The Amethyst Wizard is going to be dropping some bows. And oh man, the Purple Sun tearing up the Black Orcs, doing a ton of damage against the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. Beautiful cast there from the Amethyst Wizard. That is going to be a huge game changer, just wrecking those Black Orcs. Now right here, the Night Goblin Warboss is also going to be jumping in there to pop a Tormentor Sword. The Black Orcs are immune to psychology, plus there's trolls, so this fight is certainly far from over. Pistoliers also lending their hands in the Overwatch fire. But it looks like some of the Goblins on the other side have done well. Knights of the Blazing Sun have been taken to Pound Town by the Black Orcs. So far, it looks like the WA is actually ahead in this fight. Carl Franz is getting crumped really bad. Raiklu Nunfang has been popped. Skull Miraz is also going down, but look at this. Black Orcs and the Trolls are now routing. So this fight is just so back and forth. The fire coming in from the Free Company Militia on the Night Goblin Warboss is actually doing some really good damage. And the Knights of the Blazing Sun are just sweeping around the back line, trying to clean up some of the greenskins in the back. And yeah, this is it. I think that Falcon knows he needs to go after this Greenskin Warboss right here, because if Carl can kill him, I think that's really going to kind of turn the tide of the battle, which is actually in the favor of the Greenskins right now. So massive missile fire coming in from the Greenskins. Carl Franz almost dying here, and it looks like a Vindictive Glare going down. Carl Franz, 342 HP. Is he going to be going down? 199. This is a big moment. If Carl actually lives, that could actually, that could really change the dynamic of the game if he can come back later. So Carl is going to be living here. He's at negative 56 leadership. And Carl Franz shatters. What a battle so far. So the Night Goblin Warboss has shattered. Carl Franz has shattered. Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to be charging in there, trying to get into the back line. And we have a very just heavy dogfight on our hands. So the Black Orcs are going to be surging up the hill. Free Company Militia in the back are going to be shooting here at the Orc Airboys. And a huge charge of the Knights of the Blazing Sun into the back line, going to be getting on those Doom Divers, which I think is what the Empire needs to get back in this game. It's too bad there's no Greenskins back here to protect these. I mean, these things would have been able to generate a ton of value as this game went on. But it looks like Falcon is going to get a clean sweep and push those guys off. So as far as the battle goes, balance of power is really, really even. The Greenskins don't have too much in the way of leadership. They do have this Orc Shaman, and I believe, or a Night Goblin Shaman and an Orc Shaman. But the Amethyst Wizard, as far as stats go, he's not terrible. 25, 30, and 300. But the Knights of the Blazing Sun are just on a rampage right now. Those guys are just riding around for Sigmar, or I guess, I mean, Meridia, or wherever the hell they worship. We're just going to say Sigmar because it's better. But Knights of the Blazing Sun going to be just slamming around the battlefield. I don't know if the Greenskins have a lot of units to deal with them at this point. And you can see Falcon is starting to pull ahead in the balance of power as he does actually kill the Night Goblin Shaman right here. Over here in the distance, you can see the Brain Buster going down from Slade. This has been a great game by both players. Just very, very back and forth here. I mean, the Greenskins were ahead in the balance, but now that the Brave Sons of Sigmar have kind of stabilized a little bit, they've been able to deal with the leadership. And the guns are still online. I mean, Free Company Militia can probably beat Goblins in melee combat too, so it's not a terrible situation for them. So the Knights going to be cleaning up the flanks a little bit. You can see the Royal Altar of Griffites, I believe, are still online as well. They still have 8, so that terror is going to be playing a pretty substantial factor here. Those Free Company Militia are going to be chasing off the rest of the airs, making sure those guys don't come back. Now, there still are a ton of Black Orcs, but I feel like, you know, what Falcon's going to do is he's just going to leave them for last and just, you know, butter their bread at the very end. But, yeah, man, what a fight. So the Amethyst Wizard probably still has enough for another Purple Sun. I have a feeling Falcon might be saving that to finish off these last group of Black Orcs over here. The Royal Altar of Griffites going to be charging into these Orc Airboys right here. A little bit risky since all the Black Orcs are nearby, and Black Orcs are actually pretty good against Armored Cav. They have high melee attack, they have really good AP, so he doesn't want to stay there too long. And you can see that the Royal Altar of Griffites do get taken to town by the Black Orcs. So up here on the high ground, the Knights of the Blazing Sun are going to be charging down. Amethyst Wizard going to be attacking the Black Orcs, and Jade Wizard is going to be chasing off the Goblin Shaman. So very good multi-management here by Falcon. A nice downhill charge, but those Black Orcs are heavily armored, 110. They're not going to be going quietly into the good Knights. So the Goblins here are trying to get into the back line, or I guess not even the main line. These Free Company Militia looks like they've all stabilized, and they have a ton of ammo left. So even if he doesn't want to engage the Black Orcs, just kill everything else, save the Black Orcs for last, shoot them in pieces with all your guns, and then just, you know, go in and finish them off once their leadership is low. So Night Goblin Shaman is going to be getting chased off here on the far side. Pistoliers are going to be chasing off the Orc Airboys, which is going to be a little bit tricky. So Karl Franz shattered, but he's still alive. I believe the same situation for the Night Goblin Warboss. Oh, look at this. A Purple Sun from the Amethyst Wizard is going to be coming in. Beautiful cast. Just going right into those guys. Doing quite a bit of damage to the other group of Black Orcs as well. And actually killing some models. The Black Orcs are just fully surrounded, just going to be getting gunned down. I mean, there's no point in fighting them, right, when you don't have to. A nice Brain Buster coming in from Slade, getting some pretty good damage on this Free Company, but the Black Orcs are just not in a good situation right now. They're going to be getting charges, and with that, Slade X is going to be conceding the first game. And Falcon, the champion of the Eternal Challenger League Season 2, is going to be taking Game 1. Beautiful game. Beautiful game right there. So Falcon, let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. And now you guys wanted to see the Amethyst Wizard, Falcon obliged, and here we are with the next match. Sword of Torgald. Okay, Grumper says, ouch. Oh, man. That was a great game. That was a great game. All right, so we got a donation coming in. Let me go ahead and check this one out. Oh, dude, don't make me... what is this? To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to buy too big a toboggan. Did I get that right? Thank you for the donation. Purple sun, won't you come and wash away the Purple sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Oh, man. Hey, you got time. You got time, SK. That was a battle. Yeah, Slade did really well. I mean, he almost had that game. I think he needed some nasty sculptures. If he had a couple of those, I think it would have been a much better game for him. Oh. Yeah, Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and Audio Slave is probably one of my favorite vocalists of all time, like rock and roll vocalists. Yeah. Yeah, Soundgarden's probably in my top 3 favorite bands of all time. Foo Fighters, Soundgarden, Nine Inch Nails probably, and Metallica. Yeah. Foo Fighters, Soundgarden, Nine Inch Nails, Metallica. Those are like if I could only like pick 4 bands to listen to the rest of my life, it would be those. Improbable Igloo. I will upload it. I had some issues with the rendering after the fact, so I might have to like try and edit it with YouTube's editor, which is terrible and takes like a week. So yeah, it'll go up eventually though. The free-for-alls. Slade going Beastie Boys. He got it back to Goats. And guess who got buffed today? The Beastman actually got a pretty big buff. Cygor's got like 800 HP and like combat stat buffs and all kinds of stuff like that. So Beastman got some nice buffs for sure. Got a couple of new people playing this game thanks to your content, Turin. Daddy Scarab says. If we all do a little bit, then this will grow. I agree, man. I agree. Hey, Gretch. Hope you're doing well. Mikolai, thank you for the donation. Oh, dude. Hang on. I can't read that. Like, I know a couple words in Polish, but thank you for the 10 zlotys. Could somebody translate that for me? Mr. Ignatek's donation? Demi G, Red Hot Chili Peppers are in my top 10 for sure. Yeah. They're not in like my top 5, but they're in my top 10. Yeah. I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, By the Way was like one of my favorite songs back in the day. By the Way, Can't Stop is just super good. Other Side is amazing. Suck My Kiss, Under the Bridge. Stadium Arcadium isn't a bad album either. Probably one of my favorite songs of all time is you listen to Little Pump when you do multiplayer, Jesus. One of my favorite bands of all time, not bands, but favorite songs of all time is Fade to Black by Metallica. If you guys look that up, look up Fade to Black by Metallica. It's like this epic 8-minute song. And when that final like outro is like, oh God, it's just like, it's like an otherworldly experience. No, I haven't heard Children of the Smith. Yeah, so we're going to see what happens here. Falcon going to be playing Dark Elves against the Beastmen here, and they're going to be on Sword of Torgold. Sword of Torgold. Oh, 1 sec. Cool. And we're looking good. I did not know Metallica was doing an S&M concert this year. One of the orchestra concerts. I've heard Shinedown, and I like Shinedown quite a bit. Yeah, Orion is an amazing song, Ryan. That song is so damn good, Orion by Metallica. I used to jam to that one too. I know, the only time I ever wished I could play an instrument was when I listened to like those like long epic Metallica songs. Oh yeah, we talked about the Ancient Salamander nerfs. I think it's they got hit pretty hard, but I still think they'll be good. I mean, it's going to make you kind of, switch up your build here and there, but you can't rely on them as much. That's for sure. I mean, the range nerf plus the HP, that's pretty big. Yeah. I was never a big fan of System of a Down. A lot of my friends like them on my high school football team. I mean, I don't dislike them, but for some reason, the vocalist didn't like jive with me. And it's funny, there's a teriyaki place where I live in Los Angeles, in Glendale, or Eagle Rock, Glendale, whatever. And a System of a Down, apparently the band is like originally from the city I live in now. And like I saw them at a teriyaki place in downtown Glendale. It was really funny. Falcon is Daenerys confirmed, aka the Mother of Dragons. Yeah, By the Way was such a good song. It is such a good song. Standing in line to see the show tonight. So good. Foo Fighters were probably my all-time favorite, but I don't listen to them as much as I used to. But like, I used to love Foo Fighters a lot in high school. Namely, the album. If anybody wants to listen to Foo Fighters, The Color and the Shape is really good. It has Everlong. I believe My Hero's on there. Hey Johnny Park is like such a badass like stadium rock song. Turin says the translation for the donation in the text is Polish. Is that actually the translation for that donation? It's a Polish tongue twister. In the town, oh dude, I don't know how to read that. I could call Lady Turin in here. She could read that easily. She's a linguist, so she's like super good with that. Yeah, I couldn't say that. Rammstein, Rammstein isn't a band I like. Rammstein isn't a band that I listen to a whole lot. But like when I used to play World of Warcraft and play like Alterac Valley, I used to blast a couple of Rammstein songs on my Frost Mage, or when I was even playing the Palm Pyro Mage and just like that song. What is it called? Oh, it's just like. I can't remember. There's like a huge drop in it though. Man. After this. Okay, next map is going to be Troll Country. Yeah. Oh, man. I haven't heard of the Swedish rock band Ghost. No, I haven't. Yeah, Everlong was one of my favorite songs ever. Oh yeah, Alterac Valley back in the day. When the matches used to last like a day, I would like play all night and then come home from school and it would be like 6 p.m. and be like, oh shit, the battle's still going, like rush to Alterac Valley. And then when you would actually win it, it was like, yeah, like it was this epic moment. God. Um, yeah, Rammstein is pretty badass for sure. Um, this is the Rammstein song that I used to jam out to. No, it wasn't that one. It was this one. Mine hair's Brent. That one. I think that was it. And here we go, guys. We're going to be jumping into game 2 here. Falcon going to be coming in with the Dark Elves, and Get Crumper. Slade X going to be playing the Beastie Boys. I don't know if I can. I don't want to play WoW Classic. It's too much. Like I already, it would take away from my YouTube channel if I played that, unless I was like streaming it and stuff. But yeah. I know my German's terrible, man. I have never had any education in German. Of course, I can't pronounce it. All right. Yeah, they're so badass though. Oh, I remember there was like this old montage trailer like from the early 2000s of like a guild taking down like Sindragos, not Sindragos. It was like some sort of a raid boss in Naxxramas, and it had like Rammstein playing, and I was like, oh, me and my roommate used to watch that and just get all hyped. It was so good. Anyways, all right, guys. Here we are, game 2 of the finals between Falcon and Slade X. Falcon going to be coming in with the dreaded double Hydra build. So he has the Chill of Sontar, who of course is a big scary regenerating Hydra with Frostbite, a second Hydra. And for the main line, it's going to be Corsairs, couple Dread Spears, Bleak Swords, just chaff. The Hydras are going to be doing pretty much all the heavy lifting. Doomfire Warlocks, Slanesh's Harvesters up in the skies. He does have a Supreme Sorceress with Death on top of a Manticore. Or actually Darkness. Oh, it's going to be just Soul Stealer and Blade Wind. So big AoE spells, and then he does also have Harpies. So Harpies are going to be fighting the Harpies of the Beastmen, but you know the Dark Elf Harpies will probably win because they have another aerial support unit in the Supreme Sorceress. So yeah, going to be pretty wild. Ground forces for the Beastmen, the Get Crumper. He's got Ungor Spears. Mork for the Shadow Gave. He does also have a Bray Shaman with Lore of Death, so Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. Not going to be so good here. Buna is actually going to be good against Lanesh's Harvesters, but aside from that, there's not too many good targets. He does have some Minotaurs in the back, the Butchers of Kalkengard, Sons of Goros, a ton of bacon, just bacon for days. So it's going to be Razorgore herds just all across the sunset. And no Cygor. Cygor's actually got buffed. I was actually expecting him to bring like a single Cygor, but alas, he does not have that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a lot of bacon, a lot of cows, a lot of brisket. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. Cavaria. Let me see your name. Caviaria. Hopefully I said that right. Little Sport, great content. Warcraft 3 is also fun. There's going to be a ton of Warcraft 3 on the channel. All hail the Hydras. All hail the Hydras. They're rising from Falcon's army with many heads and incredible tails. Yeah, it's going to be good. Falcon is always the king of the wild beasts. One of the first times I had him playing in one of my events, he just brought a ton of Frostworms and just Hydras and was just doing so good. I was like, God damn. Yeah, he doesn't. He follows no man. Falcon is an independent Hydra. Start when ready. Falcon has many heads like the Hydra. You cut one off and 10 more will grow and attack you. Yes. This is a pretty cool force, though. I thought we were going to see a wild Cygor pick for sure, but looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, the Beastman build is very, very wide for sure. A couple Ungor Raiders would have been super good here, but he doesn't have too many good tools against the Hydra. I mean, he does have Ungor Spears who can do the trick, so maybe if you can kind of clear out all the chaff and just surround the Hydras with chaff, he could do pretty well. Falcon does have a pretty scary mobile force as well. Slanesh's Harvesters plus Doomfire Warlocks is pretty powerful, right? So those guys are going to be able to stomp some couches and cause some problems. And yeah, we'll see. So Harpies are going to be flying over here, going to be attacking the Harpies of the Beast people. The Beastmen are a little bit outnumbered in the skies, and they have no supporting element, so they're probably not going to want to take this Harpy fight right away because the Supreme Sorceress can help as well. And also he does have debuffs from the Slanesh's Harvesters, so the Harpies of the Dark Elves would 100% win that matchup. But it looks like they're going to be flying in to take the fight for now. I don't think there's a stat difference between the two. I think they're pretty much the exact same. No, yeah, it's pretty much the same. So the Harpies are going to be fighting right here. Beastmen don't have any supporting magic, and of course the Supreme Sorceress is going to be jumping in there, but the Beastmen Harpies actually get the jump, but it looks like Slanesh's Harvesters are going to be dropping a Soul Stealer up there, or a Soul Blight actually coming in from the Harvesters, or from the Doomfire Warlocks. That's going to be pretty big. The Harpies of the Dark Elves are somehow actually taking quite a beating, but yeah, you can see the Beastmen are slowly starting to lose that fight. There's 2 Harpies left. Yeah, 1 left. The last one's going to be going down here. So the Dark Elves are going to win that initial aerial fight. Looks like some of the Beastmen Spears, the Ungor Spearman Herds, are going to be intercepting the Slanesh's Harvesters, and there's going to be a Doom Bolt coming down right on top of the Brave Shaman with Lore of Death. It doesn't really do a lot of damage. I'm not sure where these guys are going. The Razorgore Herds over here on the far side, maybe he just did too far of a move order, but they're like in the Shadow Realm, so Slade needs to get those guys back. Otherwise, he's going to just simply lose the game, because that's a lot of resources over there. So a big breath attack coming down from one of the Hydras. It is able to Shrek some of the Destroyers of Drakkwald, so those guys are going to be taking a bit of a beating. And the Bacon is surging forth, and look at this. The Doomfire Warlocks for Falcon just get trash canned by the Razorgore Herds. That was pretty brutal. The Butchers of Kalkengard are going to be scooting forward, and the Bray Herds are going to be engaging in the main fight now. Destroyers of Drakkwald also fighting in the front line. And the Bacon, where are these guys going? Get them in the fight! Ah, okay, good. He saw it. I was going to be really sad if you forgot about those guys. But anyways, a very good initial start. The Doomfire Warlocks, of course, being broken off there is really good. The Slanesh's Harvesters are also quite beat up. But the double Harpies, or not Harpies, but the double Hydras are probably going to be able to get some mass terror outs, which are going to be quite devastating. But we got Butchers of Kalkengard piling in here, and yeah, the Bacon needs to get in here quick. That is a huge, huge mistake right there. But nonetheless, the battle's actually going pretty well for the Beastmen. The Bounce Fire is heavily in the favor of the Beastmen right now, and they haven't even engaged their like reserve troops. So yeah, if the Bacon like collapses into the back of this formation and just kind of overwhelms that Dark Elf, he needs to kill everything and basically just save the Hydras for last, I'm thinking. Chaos Spawn are going to be getting summoned by Morkor the Shadowgave, and the Sons of Goros going to be getting a fat charge into the back of these Slanesh's Harvesters. That is going to be really bad for the Harvesters. They have a really, really good charge bonus. So that charge, very impactful. Doomfire Warlocks, actually one of them turns and runs and breaks. Slanesh's Harvesters break. So that is a really good situation here for Slade X. He's able to just crump the back line right here. The Beastmen just going absolute hog wild. The Bacon in reserve, those guys need to engage. Some of the Bacon does engage on the low ground. They will be jumping into the back of the Dreadspears and company. And those guys are going to be getting just destroyed by the Bacon Eaters. And yeah, it's going to help those very beleaguered Ungor Spears. Now the double Hydra is still alive, but there's really nothing else around. I mean, all the other Dark Elves have been 100% melted. The Supreme Sorcerer is going to be getting tagged with the Spirit Leech from the Bray Shaman with Lore of Death. And you can see here, the Razorgore Herds there's just a horde of wild hogs just attacking this Hydra. I mean, the one thing about them is they have pretty good mass, so they're going to like stay and just kind of pin it in place. It looks like there's going to be a Blade Storm going down, which does a little bit of damage, but nonetheless, just the thick slabs, yes. Coming in here, you can see the Supreme Sorceress in pretty bad shape as the Sons of Goros are able to get a great pin on this Manticore. And I don't know if the Manticore is going to be able to get away. And it looks like Falcon's going to be dropping a game here to Slade's Beastmen. So the Bray Shaman coming in, all these, the Supreme Sorceress going to be going down. Hydras, the Captain America Baconator squad here are going to be taking out Hydra. And yeah, you can see, now that the Chill of Sontar is broken, if Slade is really on point right now, he's just going to chase it off the battlefield and get rid of the regeneration. That's going to be a pretty quick game. The Hydra Goon Squad, trying its best, but man, Morkor the Shadowgave just doing work this game. Supreme Sorcerer is fully surrounded. There's just so many high mobility units here that are going to be chasing her down, so I think she's going to have some problems. He needs to chase this off the battlefield. I mean, it's going to be over due to army losses here in a moment, but typically you would want to chase that. So very well played to Slade X, the Git Crumper, coming in and evening out this best of 5 series with the Beastmen Bacon Rush just everywhere. What a game. Yeah, that was pretty wild. Too many numbers. The goats are OP. Look at those things. They're all over the place. So well played there. Well played to Slade X. Going to be tying up that series here. And we're going to be jumping into the next game. So the Slanesh's Harvesters really just got pounded. Like, they did nothing, those guys. I mean, just even the Razorgore Herds with their armor, plus the Centaurs were able to really chase them. That was pretty wild. So yes, guys, we're going to be going to the next game. Beastmen. GG. Sons of Goros won the game. Yeah, they did really good. So next one is going to be Troll Country. And then we'll just pick the next maps here while we're waiting. Damn allergies today. Curse the Baggins. What maps would we like to fight? I believe all the MP maps kind of got removed here. You see what they're saying? There's like the Beastmen don't give a single shit. Let's go next one, mate. All right. So we're going to be on Troll Country for the next map here. Oh, man. And clogged arteries and heart disease won this game. Those goats got in there. So basically, for the past like 3 or 4 months, I just kind of got in the habit of buying like turkey bacon. You know, I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And it wasn't even like a conscious thing. I was just like, yeah, let's just grab. It was just the first one I saw, so I would just grab it. But the other day, I grabbed like actual bacon. Holy shit! I forgot how much better regular bacon is. Oh my god, it was like such an experience. Philip, thank you for the donation. Even if that wasn't a tongue twister of sorts, I would have no idea how to read that. If somebody in chat could help me, hang on. Nani? Hot Topic is off the menu. The Dark Elves are totally the Hot Topic faction. They are. Yeah. Gret says, have you ever considered uploading the matches of the entire stream on their own? Would be cool for us Europeans. I mean, I could do that, but I kind of like, the stream is going to be up anyways, so like you can just go and watch it, right? And it might be a little bit annoying to just spam the same videos over and over. I don't know. I guess I could do that. It's something to think about. Maybe I'll do like a poll on the channel. But that is some good feedback. I do appreciate that, man. I know it's getting a little bit late, but yeah, turkey bacon is healthier, but goddamn, it was so much better, dude. I had like tears. I was like just tears coming out of joy of something I had missed for so long. A Rubber Duck of War says, gotta go, but thank you for the good and fantastic stream as always. Come back and see the rest later, man. Appreciate you. Good battle the other day on ladder. It was quite fun. And yeah, Philip, I can't read that, man. I'll have Lady Turin read it to me later, though. Don't worry. Yeah, we got 966 people watching right now. If you guys are enjoying watching this epic best of 5 series here in the finals, please drop a like. Yes, we're only at 252. That is a shameful display. Let's get those up to at least 400 or 500. Come on, 958. Warhammer Lovecraftian influences in Warhammer are probably going to be Chaos Gods. So when we get Game 3, if they eventually add some sort of Chaos Demon stuff, like Tzeentch and Nurgle are super Lovecraftian. I mean, the Nurgle aesthetics are extremely Lovecraftian. Tzeentch is like philosophy and like everything is Lovecraftian. So, I mean, there is a lot of Lovecraft influence in the Chaos Gods, but obviously we haven't had too many things pertaining to them yet. So we got Norseman ZA from South Africa. Hope you're doing well, man. And then we got a donation from the Spirit of Gorg, one of my favorite names. It's so good. He says, oh yeah, I came home from the gym pigging out with a fat bacon burger to see this game. Bacon forever. Much love from Vienna, Austria. Spirit of Gorg, thank you, man. Oh, dude, I want bacon so bad now. I made turkey bacon today, but it was a little bit like after I had the real thing again. You know? It's like, it's just not the same. Inquisition Spy, we actually had a really good Empire game earlier where we got to see the Amethyst Wizard used, which was quite fun. Yeah. So after this stream, I'm going to go listen to Rammstein, and I'm going to eat bacon, some real bacon. I think it's time. Yeah, we haven't had any Skaven today. No Skaven. Felcon's going to be coming in with Wood Elves. We all know how he likes to play. He really loves to use those like Wild Rider builds and just swarm you. But we're going to see. We're going to see. Felcon is probably going to be going pretty serious now, I would imagine. Bringing out all the big guns. Enough games. Oh, man. XMT. I believe they're both in XMT. I think Slade X also is, but he's playing under Git Crumper today, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, Felcon typically likes to do Wild Rider rushes. He uses the Male Glade Lord. He gets like 3 or 4 Wild Riders. He just bum rushes your flank and uses the Helm of Discord, Call of the Wild, all those different buffs to really win the fight. That's his typical Wood Elf style, but you know, he obviously can play a multitude of different ways. Now, against the Git Crumper, I haven't seen him play Empire. I know he's a very good Greenskin player, obviously quite good with the Beastmen. He had an amazing Beastmen build and was able to win that game. That was impressive. Really, really solid Beastmen play. So, I haven't seen him play the Empire. It seems like he usually plays the forces of Beast. What would be the term? Like the forces of Beast. He plays the Bestiary, the Bestial. Yeah, it'd be the Bestial forces. Yeah. What could be the endgame challenge for Total War Warhammer 3? Well, I have a feeling that if it is going to be centered around like chaos and stuff, it's probably going to be. I would have some, like you'd be trying to prevent the end times or some big like the chaos armies will probably be trying to cause the end times, and you're going to be trying to stop it, right? Like I would imagine. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's the dreaded Wood Elf build. Falcon does not play Wood Elves like most people. He said, Git Crumper says, going to treat himself to another whiskey, BRB. Dude, he's getting all amped and ready for this. Bestial. Yeah. It'd be Bestial. It'd be like the Bestial factions. Yeah. That'd be it. Chandler from South Africa. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Troll Country's next. What map did I say was after this? And then we got... Okay. So we got Troll Country, and I don't think I've picked the map for the next one. So we could actually do that right now. So we can do... So then last two maps are Pillar of Bone and... So we do Pillar of Bone. That's pretty much a classic. I really do like that one quite a bit. And then we'll do the Stallion Tomb. I think a Stallion Tomb is kind of a weird one. I gotta make a list of maps that are good. And then Oakenhammer. So the last two maps are Pillar of Bone and Oakenhammer after this. Cool. I think Oakenhammer might be one of the bugged maps, though. Falcon's Wild Hunt approaches. Is he going to be a true hero of the people and bring Mel Gibson? We'll find out. And it looks like they're going to be starting. So here we go, guys. Game 3. It's tied 1-1. Slade with 1 game, Falcon with 1. Pretty intense game so far. Oh my god, I can't wait for Warhammer 3. God. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be amazing. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and turn off the army blocker here. They're going to be on the Great Troll Country, a very fun map. I like this one because it's very small. So just like it gets fisticuffs real quick. There's not going to be too many games. It's just straight to business. Like players have to react quick. It's fun. It's kind of a quick on the draw one. Oh, let's do some hand stretches here. So we have the Empire facing off against the Wood Elves. So some hardwood against the firm will of Sigmar. So, for the forces of Falcon, he's going to be playing the Wood Elves. He's got the double Forest Dragon. So this is, man, coming in with some draconic builds. He's got the Glade Lord here, the male Glade Lord. So he's going to be going for a bit of a goon squad here. He does, of course, have the Helm of Discord, which lowers melee attack and melee defense by a substantial amount. He has Call of the Wild as well, and a second Forest Dragon. For the rest of his army, it's going to be actually very standard. So no Wild Riders at all. And maybe he's kind of, mind games, right? Because when you get known as like being a player who does the same thing, or a similar type of build over and over, you can really subvert people's expectations and catch them off guard. One of the benefits of doing that. So Dryads in the front line, which are very good against 8 troops. They can beat most 8 troops. Will lose to Greatswords and troops higher than that, of course. But for the most part, these guys are a very, very solid pick against the Empire. A Branch Wraith in the back, Earthblood, and Pendulum, it looks like. 2 Treekin. Now, Treekin are used against heavy calves. So the reason you bring them against the Empire is against Reiksguard, Empire Knights, Demogryph Knights. Well, not Demi so much, but against like the Shock Cav. You put them on the flanks, you use their mass to block the charges, and they can do some serious work. He does also have 3 groups of the Glade Guard with the Starfire Shafts. It looks like one of them actually has Hagbane tips in the back. And that's pretty much it. Branch Wraith on foot, like I said, and a very, very standard kind of a defensive High Elf build, or excuse me, Wood Elf build. This isn't Falcon. what year is this? And for the forces of Slade X, the Git Crumper, he's going to be playing the Empire. In the front line, it's going to be all state troops. So these brave swordsmen are going to be fighting Dryads, which is a tough fight for them, but nonetheless, they are going to put up an okay fight and at least put a dent in them. And if they get any support from the Cav, they should be okay. Git Crumper also has a bunch of crossbows in the back. So 4 crossbows, a couple Flagellants in support. So Flagellants, will be able to hold their own. I mean, and probably will be able to beat the beat-up Dryads at that point. He's got the General of the Empire on foot. So this brave general going to be leading the artillery in the back. He has a Light Wizard with Nets of Amnitok, and it looks like there's going to be Empire Knights and Reiksguard, and there's going to be the Hammer of the Witches and a Great Cannon. So it seems like the build is obviously prepared for a lot. I mean, he can deal with, Wild Rider charges with the Empire Heavy Cav. He has Nets, which is going to be incredibly solid. No other magic whatsoever. So all of his magic use is going to be Nets of Amnitok, which is very interesting. Now, the one thing this army is lacking a little bit, I mean, he does have anti-large in his cannons, but he does not have like traditional anti-large against like dragons and things like that. So it's going to be tough to take down those dragons. So good luck, good luck. Players showing a good sign of sportsmanship. The Wild Riders are chilling at home, yes. Where is the horse and the rider? Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle. Falcon trying to switch it up a little bit, mixing up his, you know, he doesn't want people to catch on to the way he plays too much. So I think that playing every now and then playing builds like this is going to kind of force people to respect different styles of play, which I think is good. I like what he's doing. So the Dryads are going to be scooting forward to engage the Swordsmen, and the Dragon going to be doing some circles here, but it looks like the cannons are actually shooting at the Treekin. Some of them are shooting at the Dragon as well. And he is using some ammunition on the Swordsman, so trying to butter up these targets a little bit, but the Glade, 160 on these guys compared to 170. So the Glade Guard with high-wing tips should be able to outrange the crossbows. But yeah, he needs to kill those crossbows pretty quick, because the crossbows do have a numbers advantage. There's actually 4 of those guys compared to his 3 bows. So the Dragons, in the meantime, not sure if they're going to be engaging. Honestly, they have pretty safe engagements here on the ground. They could easily just like jump in and fight these swordsmen and just break those troops up pretty quick. Treekin are going to be engaging against these brave Sons of Sigmar here, who are going to be running in armed with only clubs against these like armored trees. Not the best situation for the Flagellants, but nonetheless, they're going to be trying their best. Now, the Wood Elf Archers are going to be opening up shop, just tearing into these crossbows, doing some pretty good damage. Man, 1 or 2 volleys there. The Wood Elf Archers obviously far superior to the State Troop Archers. These crossbowmen are going to be getting melted. And the Cav are basically just waiting in the back right now, playing a very patient game, not going to be looking to take the fight. I'm surprised you're not pressuring at all, but I think maybe he's just kind of, you know, trying to play that very layered style of play where he just tries to wear the Wood Elves out over the course of a long battle. Now, the state troops are pretty much all broken up here. In the front, this Sons of Sigmar, or the Sigmar Sons, going to be fighting with only 6 skills, but there is a Forest Dragon attacking them. And now the Cav are going to be marching forward. He is leaving the Reichsguard at home, but the Empire Knights are going to be trying to get into that back line. There are a lot of Eternal Guard in the back, though, so it's not going to be easy. Plus, the Dragons are really good against Cav units if they're not, you know, Demogryph Knights. So right here we have some Empire Knights going to be charging over the hill, going to be lancing right into these Eternal Guard right here, which is going to be good. They're not braced, so they're going to get some value, it looks like. And yeah, it's kind of weird how they couch their lances at the last second. It looks like they weren't even like targeting them. That was kind of strange. But anyways, the bows are going to be shooting the crossbows, getting some decent value into some of these guys. And the Empire actually is going to be collapsing this flank a little bit. Some of these Treekin have been taking cannon fire this entire game, so those guys are a little bit beat up as well. But the Wood Elf Archers are really just doing a number on some of these troops. So it looks like he's trying to snipe out the Light Wizard right now. But the Light Wizard, of course, is very privy to this. Is going to be dropping some moves and trying to juke out those archers. And in the back, we have Flagellants fighting Eternal Guard, which is a really good engagement for the Empire. Flagellants have pretty good, you know, offensive output, and Eternal Guard have very low offensive output. So the low, kind of crappy defensive stats of these guys isn't going to be as big of an issue. In the front, the Forest Dragon is going to be jumping here. It looks like a fat overcast net of M-Talk is going to be holding these guys in place, allowing the cannons and other troops to get some pretty good shots. And you can see that the Glade Lords actually beat up. And look at this. Out of nowhere, the Empire Knights are able to get around and get on top of the archers. So the Empire finally gets into that juicy Wood Elf back line. And that net was incredibly nice right there, kind of holding those guys down, allowing these Empire Knights to get in there. But Falcon is going to be collapsing very quickly, using these Eternal Guard on top of the Empire Knights. And what do the state troops and the brave Sons of Sigmar have left? There's some Empire Knights over here, but they're fighting Eternal Guard, which isn't a good situation. The Treekin are obviously going to be able to hold the Reichsguard just all year. And the General of the Empire is going to be going over here to attack the Treekin as well. But it's looking a little bit tough for the Sons of Sigmar here. The Flagellants in the back are doing a good job, but they're just kind of, you know, outmanned here. They're going to be taking just fat breath attacks most likely. All the Wood Elf Archers are intact. I mean, a little bit of disruption coming in. A nice frontal charge coming in from the Reichsguard, just trying to get into that back line and shut down the archers. But if you're going to be trying to shut down Wood Elf Archers, you kind of have to go for like a critical mass. Otherwise, like if you just kind of get the tip in there just a little bit, it's not going to be enough. The Eternal Guard are going to be able to hold these guys off. So yeah, it's going to be tricky. In the meantime, the General of the Empire is going to be fighting the Treekin here. Flagellants fighting on the flanks to the last man, and they're pretty much all done for now. But the bounce power is actually pretty heavily in the favor of Falcon right now. His elf dragon beast here in the back is going to be going for the cannons, and there's nothing the Empire can do to stop this. This dragon is just going to have free range, and I think at this point it's probably going to be game. I hesitate to call it early, but I do think that Falcon is going to be able to take this now because there's nothing to stop this back line. And a lot of the bounce power that is left for the Empire is heavily invested in these cannons. So the Hammer of the Witches is going to be getting Shrek and just pushed off the map right here. So yeah, these guys, look at this big angry ass dragon just feasting on the souls of the Hammer of the Witches crew. So yeah, they're probably going to tear it out here in a second. After that dragon just roasts those guys. Some of the Treekin are also able to push back there eventually. So both cannons are shut down, which is pretty much a death sentence for the Empire. They have a couple of Flagellants fighting, some swordsmen over here. Some of these knights are doing pretty good. And Falcon's Lord is very low, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to kind of, keep this guy in check here. So that's it. Falcon is going to go up 2-1 this series. So if he wins this, that's going to be a 3-1 victory. But again, Slade, of course, can come back and tie it up. And of course, we all love our, our 5-game series here. So Falcon, let's go ahead and do this. Update the scoreboard. Him and his Wood Elves bringing a very different build. I was expecting a Wild Rider Zerg, but he did not bring that. And, against double cannons, I mean, and all these guys, I think his Wild Riders might have been in some trouble. So I think he made a very good decision here. So there we have it. Get Grumper says I probably shouldn't play Empire. And Falcon just says Dragons in all caps. All right, last 2 maps are Pillar of Bone and Oakenhammer. Surprise attack. Yeah, there was a surprise attack for sure. We got the pillar of bone. Oh, here it comes, boys. Here it comes. And now we're going to see, can Falcon, the champion of the Eternal Challenger League Season 2, close out this series here and earn himself a place on the Tablet of Tehenwin. So for anyone who hasn't seen it here, here's a lovely tablet. Zyphos and El Halcon have qualified in the past 2 weeks. Falcon and Slade X are going to be fighting for the third place spot here. Not third place, but for the third spot on the tablet. And of course, there's going to be 5 more weeks of competition, which is going to be great. Well played to those guys. Yeah, those tree kit are actually pretty solid. I love that, like, you know, through balance and development from Creative Assembly, like a lot of those guys have actually become good, which is cool. All right. So it's going to be chaos, it looks like, for the Get Crumper. And the players are going to be working out their last matchups right now because they are in the same clan. They are also friends with one another. So they're going to be working out in a gentleman's format. We do, of course, have a pick and ban if they decide to do that. But, you know, these guys, of course, have the liberty of, you know, doing their thing here. Surprise dwarf pick. Seductive Web. You just joined the stream and you missed my favorite faction, the Wood Elves. Don't worry, you can go back and watch it. The stream will be up in a couple hours. Cannons can do pretty good. I like cannons against Wood Elves. I like at least they hammer the witches. I think, yeah, I don't think you need 2 cannons, but like 1 is fine. Demogryph Knights are pretty good. Like spamming Empire Knights and Demogryph Knights can be fine. I mean, there's so many ways to play against Wood Elves. You can go with like 5 or 6 Empire Knights and just try and blitz them down. There are so many different ways. The new Amethyst Wizard's great. I mean, I think it's a nice addition to the Empire. We actually saw it earlier. We saw Falcon using it with Purple Sun. It was pretty badass. Yeah. Yeah, Mortars are really, really good against Wood Elves. Mortars are good against any faction that's going to be bow-centric. So if like you're playing Vampire Coast against any elf faction, you typically want to bring like 2 Mortars. Get some more water, guys. I'm just chugging this like a beast over here. That's some good water. It's very delicious and hydrating. You guys remember Waterboy with Adam Sandler? The movie was great. Yeah, Falcon always brings a mammoth, like always. That's like his jam. So it's going to be Norsca versus Chaos, the classic Northern Civil War, the War of Subjugation. Are the Warriors of Chaos going to bow to the might of Norsca? We'll find out in the next episode. Emmy, let's see your question here. Could you unlock Chaos Gods as units? Yeah, that would be too OP. The Chaos Gods are like, you know, they're trapped in like the warp basically because they're just too thick to bring to the actual world. I don't think you could playing it like, I mean, basically you can get. I think getting the manifestations of the Chaos Gods, a Great Unclean One, you know, the Lord of Change, the Bloodthirster of Khorne. Those are basically all like mini versions of the Chaos Gods. So, yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, yeah, and then there can be like legendary ones like Be'lakor and, you know, Rodigus and like all these different guys. Whew. Waterboy is such a great movie. H2O. H2O. That movie was a classic. Man, early Adam Sandler movies were a lot of fun. Oh, How the Mighty Have Fallen. You think Falcon's going to come in with the werewolves? I don't know, guys. I don't know if the werewolf pressure is going to be happening, but we'll find out in this day. This day we fight. So, you know, Slade X is on the ropes here, guys. He's got to play his best build here because Falcon is up 2-1. So if, you know, but again, he did really well with Beastman, and Beastman have a relatively similar playstyle to Chaos, so there is a potential that he could bring something, you know, pretty aggressive here. But yeah, I mean, Falcon's Norsca is very good. You know, most tournament players, from what I found, are very good at like two or three races they like really specialize in. So you can't really afford to, at least in this community. In StarCraft, you can be like a one-trick pony and be just good at one race because that's how that game works. But in Warcraft 3 competitive play, or in Warhammer 3, Warhammer 2, Total War Warhammer 2 competitive play, you can't be good at just one race. You have to be good at least 2 or 3 for most tournaments. Yeah, we got 1,000 viewers. Thank you guys so much for joining. That's pretty solid. Make sure to drop a like if you guys are just getting in here. It does help out quite a bit. From a business perspective, keeps me going. Keeps Wookiee fed. It keeps my decrepit old dog fed. He was great once, I agree. Yeah, his movies are terrible now. They're just so terrible. Like Jack and Jill is like one of the worst movies ever made. Alligators is ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. God, that was so good. It's just so simple. You know? Oh, dude. In the whole medulla oblongata thing or whatever, when he's with the professor and he just like tackles him. Oh, God. Waterboy was so good. All right, guys. Just checking the settings. Everything's looking good here. And now, for the armies of Norska, Falcon, the champion of the Eternal Challenger League Season 2, coming in with a Frostworm, one of his signature plays here. He's also going to be rocking Wolfric on the Mammoth, and it looks like it's going to be a Famir Balefiend with Shadow, so he does have Pendulum as well as an Enfeebling Foe. And for the main line, he has a bunch of the Marauder Hunters with throwing axes, going to be trying to pepper down that heavy armor of Chaos. He has a front line, actually a true front line of standard Marauders, just going to be 3 of those bad boys. He does have the Miststalkers, the ROR Famir, and then on top of that, he has Marauder Horsemen. So pretty good stuff right here. Definitely digging it. And for anyone who's wondering why Falcon deploys like this, you're probably watching this and like, why is Falcon making a weird square? So the reason he does this is he deploys this way, and then as soon as the battle starts, he moves everything where he wants it to be. So in case someone is stream sniping him, it's very much like a practice of tournament players. If somebody's stream sniping, or if, for example, Slade wouldn't do this, but if Slade were watching the stream, for example, he could then like fan out everything at the last second, and Slade wouldn't know where his Vanguard's going to be. So it's a very, very good play here. I like that quite a bit. So for the armies of Chaos, looks like it's going to be Chaos Marauders in the front line, so Marauder on Marauder action, 3 groups of Chaos Warhounds, 2 groups of Chaos Trolls, and the double giant. What year is this? 2 Chaos Giants, 4 Trolls, Sartorial the Everwatcher here, and then it looks like it's going to be some Chaos Warriors with Halberds. I don't know what planet we live on, what year it is, but we're here. This is going to be amazing. The Miststalkers are not anti-large. Those are the standard Famir, but they're still pretty good against big targets. They don't do bad. So, yeah, this is crazy. Look at this build. Absolute anarchy. So right here, the Marauder Horsemen going to be circling around, getting on the Trolls. I mean, Falcon has plenty of answers for the Trolls. It looks like there's going to be a Piercing Bolts going down right here from the Warp Chicken, and I don't think he's going to make contact, unfortunately. Yeah, it might like clip the edge of that formation, but it was a bold strategy, Cotton. Didn't pay out, but the Miststalker is going to be jumping on these very isolated Marauders right now, so Falcon very good at like kind of pulling his opponents apart, and these guys are, you know, it's free real estate. So now the main fight is underway. The Hounds are going to be sweeping around the back, trying to get on top of the Marauder Hunters. Mammoth is going to be jumping in, and the Giants and Trolls also going to be surging forward. Now, some of the Trolls actually get attacked by a Frostworm, which is a really bad situation, so man, they get instantly routed, so Falcon is just no mercy right now. He's just coming in and just like picking things apart, like getting that free value where he can. Trolls, dude, this is like the worst situation possible for these Trolls. Fighting alone, isolated, being like speared down, it is just a really, really bad situation. On top of that, the Mammoth's going to be coming in and just shrekking those guys. The Hounds are really going to need to get around the back and get some value. Some of the Trolls are going to be surging into the back line and just pounding some of those Marauder Hunters. And look at that, the bounce of power is already in Falcon's favor as 2 groups of Trolls are basically just routed off instantly. So that's pretty disastrous. The Warp Chicken here is going to be trying his best with his KFC drumstick, but Falcon's army is just so solid. I mean, he's doing so much work. The fact that Trolls, you really got to keep high and tight with your army. I think he should have used some of the Hounds to kind of screen those guys out. Now, he does get into the back line and is able to kill the Marauder Hunters pretty efficiently back here, so both of these Hunters are probably going to die, but they're still quite a bit cheaper than Trolls. And it looks like Piercing Bolts is going to be going down. I'm not sure why it's being dropped on the Trolls right there, or if that was a mistake. But anyways, Wolfric and company are going to be fighting the Halberds right here, and it looks like they do actually terrify them off the battlefield. So the bounce power is normalizing a little bit. The Giants and company are breaking the front line of Norska. The back line, all these Hunters are pretty much dead. So there was some trading going on, so it wasn't a complete disaster. Now, there are 2 Giants. Giants are going to be super good against Mammoths, very good against Dragons. And you can see here that the Troll Goon Squad is going to be circling about and just getting a massive, massive beatdown on these guys. And yeah, getting some good value. So pretty much all the Hunters here for Falcon are offline. Slade actually has normalized the bounce of power a little bit as Wolfric is just getting beaten down by these guys. Look at this, just taking clubbing damage. So look at that. Slade with a very, very rough start. I mean, Falcon was able to isolate and kill 2 Trolls, but, you know, he came back and was able to do some good work. So the Warp Chicken's in a bit of a dangerous situation as well. You can see he's surrounded here. Thankfully, he is unbreakable, but he doesn't have final transmutation or anything that's really going to help him out of the situation. But the Troll Goon Squad and the Giants coming in and starting to attack Wolfric in the back. So now it's not a terrible situation, but the Warp Chicken is really pinned down. Famir have pretty good mass, and if you look at the feet, you can see there's Famir like fully surrounding it, holding him in there, which is pretty tough. Wolfric is also taking a couple beats from the Giants here, but if he's able to pick off the Warp Chicken, that is going to be a pretty big disaster. Now on the outskirts of the battle, Marauder Horsemen just looking for you know, freebies. Obviously chasing off the Trolls is super important, so if Falcon is able to do that, he's going to be in a very commanding position here. And finally, the Warp Chicken is able to get away, but he's going to be just getting hunted. I mean, the Wolfric as well as the Frostworm is going to be able to chase him down pretty well. And the Mammoth is you know, doing his thing. He's doing pretty good at half health. The Giant and Troll Goon Squad is pretty good, but I think without leadership, the Chaos Warriors are probably just going to kind of fall apart. I mean, the Marauders, I mean, Norska's taking a lot of damage as well. I mean, their infantry are pretty much tattered up. There's a couple of groups of Marauders on the flanks, but aside from that, not much. Sartorial, the Ever Chicken, is just going to be running, trying to get some help here, and a very good play here by Slade. He's able to get the Hounds back in here to get, you know, jump on those guys. Unfortunately, they do break instantly, and also we have some Marauders who should be able to clean up at least those guys. Now, the Giants are doing good. They were able to take Wolfric to Pound Town pretty bad. Might be able to actually get some kills in the Balefiend, and they're also a pretty good counter against Famir. So I really like some aspects of Slade's build. I think the Giants were a really solid kind of a counter pick that nobody would expect. But, you know, I think he needed to keep his army a little bit tighter together. The Trolls, if they get isolated in the open field like they did in this battle, it's just going to be an absolute disaster. So Warp Chicken's trying to run. The KFC King is at 438 HP. It's in a bit of trouble. And yeah, I don't know if the Warp Chicken's going to survive. The Frostworm is pretty meaty. They're really good at hunting characters like this. Wolfric also jumps over here. So at this point, Slade is just going to kind of, you know, commit to this fight in the middle. Going to be using the Giants to just kind of stand and fight. This Giant's going to be picking up a Marauder and just bashing him into the ground, which is always fun. Oh, I'm sure he's enjoying that. It looks like a lot of fun for both of them. So the Marauder Hunters with Javelins, these guys are also going to be MVPs. They're going to be able to kill Giants very, very easily. And you can see here that Wolfric and company are just cleaning up shop here. Some Trolls actually piling in against the Frostworm. Somehow the Warp Chicken lives. I have no idea how he's still alive, but he's going to be going down here. The Marauders, I mean, even though he does have huge missile resist, should be able to kill him if they just focus him. 121 HP is not enough to live. So he's going to be jumping in there with his drumsticks. He takes a couple charges, and is he going to be falling to just standard Marauder Horsemen? Maybe some of these guys will be ascending to Demonhood after killing a Greater Demon of Tzeentch. So look at them all cheering after the Great Hunt. They're going to be feasting on KFC tonight. So the Chaos Giant here doing a pretty good job clubbing down the Fimir Balefiend, and the Giants weren't a bad pick. Now, had he brought Giants, maybe cut some Trolls and gotten some Chaos Knights and some more Hounds to kill all the mobile units, I think he might have been in pretty good shape. But it was a very ambitious build. I think it had some strengths, but maybe just lacked in execution and a couple minor tweaks, and I think it would have been good. So with that, Felcon, the Dark Lord himself, is going to be advancing and claiming a spot on the tablet. So let us write his name into history. And here we go. So we're going to be adding him in here. And yes, we'll say Felcon, create new. Yes. We're carving his name into the tablet. Yes, where is it? Cue the epic music if somebody could do that. So Felcon here is going to be, let me go ahead and resize his name a little bit. Ah, great. So Felcon is going to be earning the 3rd spot in the Eternal Challenger League Grand Finals, which will be coming up in a couple months there. So very well played to him, but also, guys, very well played to Get Crumper and Slade X. He did a very good job. I mean, he was able to take a pretty solid game off Felcon and brought for some very cool builds for you guys. So let's hear a round of applause for Get Crumper, also known as Slade X, who played some very tight games earlier. It's quite a bit of fun. And also to our 2 other challenges, if we take a look at the brackets, we had Von Karstein and Reginald Puggington, who had some really good games earlier as well. So big thanks to all those guys. It was quite a bit of fun. They did a good shop, a good shop. I was trying to say job and shop at the same time. A good job. And Felcon is going to be the grand champion for today, earning a spot on the tablet. Of course, you can see him here, which is going to be fun. So let me go ahead and say well played to the players. Well played. That is it. Trolls and Giants are life. I wasn't invisible bloated corpse. Gee, Felcon. Congrats. Well play, Slade. All right, guys, so we're going to be jumping out of there and heading over to the caster's desk for a moment. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for today. No, I actually got to go right now. I got to go take care of some stuff, but I will play some. I'll grab Felcon in the next couple days, and we'll play some games for the channel and stuff. Oh man, quite a generous donation. Let me see. So I don't know how much that is. 340. Yeah, thank you, man. That's very generous. I think it's like 30, 40, 50 bucks in that range. So Casper Blatch here with a donation says, and the fellowest of cones stand alone on the pillar of bone. And in case you're wondering, that's just over 50 bucks. Thank you so much, Casper. Oh, you wrote it in there, but I just was like checking. Okay, that's funny. Casper, man, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the stream. The mysterious currency. Yeah, Pillar of Bones, it's a great map. Felcon versus Chuck Norris would be more fair. It was a lot of fun. So again, let's go ahead and thank everyone for joining. Really appreciate having all you guys here. It was a blast. You know, this is one of my highlights of the week is just hanging out and chatting with you guys and then watching some Total War Warhammer. It's always a really good time. So on that note, please drop a like before you make your way out. It does help. And big thanks to some donations today. We had Casper coming in pretty rock hard there with the fat 40, 50 bucks. And the fellowest of cones stands alone on the pillar of bone. Yes, it does. The Spirit of Gorg, thank you for your donation. I don't know why that name makes me laugh. It's awesome. Philip, thank you for the tongue twister, which I will show to Lady Turin. Kavaria, a little support. Yes, more Warcraft 3 content is coming. I'm probably going to be streaming it on Monday or Tuesday. Mr. Nyatek, another tongue twister in Polish. Seems to be a bit of a meme that's growing here. I will show that to Lady Turin as well. Stripple, thank you for the toboggan tongue twister. You guys want me to read that one again? To begin to toboggan, first buy a toboggan, but don't buy too big a toboggan. Too big a toboggan is too big a toboggan to begin to toboggan. Oh, I nailed that. Nailed it. All right. And then we got Fly on Bread, Tmot64, Rando Howard, The Spark. Yes, Wookie will get all the treats on your behalf. Glassberg Gaming and David, thank you guys so much. And I believe We also, we got a PayPal donation as well from Mr. Hautziger. Thank you for the 40. So Mr. Hautziger coming in with a 40 euro donation on PayPal. So thank you so much. I did miss that when I was in the battle, but thank you for the really generous support. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it. So just to re-summarize here, Falcon will be qualifying for the grand finals here. And we're going to be seeing him yet again to defend his Eternal Challenger League strap, which is going to be a lot of fun. Yes. Yeah, we're on that road to 100K subs for sure. So the Eternal Challenger League is generally going to be every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, this week I had to change it because this Saturday I have something else going on, which is it's going to be really fun. You guys are going to like it. It's going to be fun. I'll be announcing it soon. But I couldn't do it on Saturday, so I had to change it up. So that's why we had it, on a day like this. Also, Falcon's schedule was quite busy, so he asked if we could do it during the week, so we were able to accommodate. All right, guys, you guys are badass. Thank you so much for your support and hanging out and just having a good old time on this fine, I don't know what day of the week is. I don't even know what year it is sometimes, but I think it's Thursday. So guys, thank you so much for joining. The PayPal donation is in the description if you're looking. Yeah, Streamlabs link. Yeah, some beastly qualifiers. We're trying to make it very competitive this season. I think it's I like to focus on competitive play, so it's going to be pretty heated. All right, guys, thank you guys so much. I'm going to go hang out with my hot wife and my creature-ish dog, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.